All right. Chris said it didn't work. It's still saying help. I don't know, bro. I am doing what it's saying, and I don't know what's causing that. I troubleshoot go live. Oh, this dude, Chris, you cannot do it from your that's what you guys doing wrong. You cannot do it from your computer. You gotta go on your phone. You gotta do it on your phone. This dude is on your phone, bro. So come off your computer and go on the phone. That's what the problem is. Uh and he's saying I'm the one that's old. Yeah, right. All right. Okay, so back to the chat. Let's see if he can get in now because he should have heard me. You guys can hear me, right? All right, good. He's hearing me because he said, "Oh, yeah, you gotta do." See, there you go. And all the time he's trying to make it look like it's me. Oh my gosh, dude. See, this is. You
Get
see,
up there,
you
bro.
see, this is what happens. You see, and I'm the one that's old. Oh my gosh, dude. Is when you call me on FaceTime. I was like, wait, he trying to go live from his computer? And I was like, that's why you gotta be on your phone.
Oh, you should have said that.
Really, really.
You should have said that, bro. Well,
All
let me
right.
put this up.
All right. So back to the conversation. We had like 15 plus people on here. I hope they jump back on. All right. So anyway, they'll be able to review the video afterwards anyway. So yeah. All right. So like I was saying, guys, I am waiting on some reviews besides Lord Brando. All right. So like I was saying, the first time I shot the Sony was when the photographer named Ruben from New York came to St. Martin, and we did a photo shoot on St. Martin. He came to work with me, and that's the first time I shot the. He had, I think, it was just the Sony A7. Yes, it was a Sony A7. A7, the A7R. It was the first generation.
Right.
Hey Danny, what's up? Man, so I tested it out and that camera was trash. Straight up trash.
What made it
Right?
trash?
The colors was crap.
Okay.
The screen was crap. Um dude, it was trash. I like
Okay.
and I'm telling you, okay, so like I say, everybody, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is my opinions, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
how I felt. Now, coming from I shot Nikon. I shot Nikon when I started. I shot Nikon. My first camera was a D50-100. I moved up from there. I got the D 7500, the 7500, and I got the 610, then the 750, the 810. You name it. I've been through Nikons. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what Nikons are capable of, and this is DSLRs, right? Then my last Nikon was the D750. Everybody know that D750 was a beast.
Okay. Okay.
There's not a person alive that don't know that Nikon D750 wasn't a beast, right? So that was the
Right.
camera I had when I shot with him. And I shot with an A7R. I took the files, I went home. Dude, the camera, when I tell you it was crap, the quality was crap. That's it, point blank. Shooting that Sony after coming from shooting a Nikon DSLR, there was no way I was going to get that camera. So I decided, you know what, I'll hold on. Hiroshima said the D750 was hard fire. Yes, it was. All right, so I decided I'm not going Sony, right? Even they had the A7 II and the A7R2 out at that time. I was reviewing them. I saw they had a lot of complaints about the colors and everything like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold on.
Right.
Right? So then they released the A7R3, the A7 III. Those was on pre-order. I think that was in around November time of 2009 or somewhere around there when those cameras dropped, right?
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Let me bite the bullet. And I sold all my Nikon gear. I sold my Nikon D810, Nikon D750, my 70-200, 24, the Holy Trinity. I sold everything. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why, like, when people say, "Oh, dude, I sold everything and I fully committed to Sony." I pre-ordered the A7 III, I pre-ordered the A7R3, and I bought the A6500 at the time, right?
Right.
So now I got all the cameras. Decided, yes, I'm going full Sony. I am mirrorless. I tested it out, and I remember posting a video on Facebook where I was talking to someone on my computer, and I was using the AF, and this thing was like on the person. I was like, damn, this is nice, right?
Right. Right.
So I'm like, all right, all right. I did a review on it, everything on YouTube and everything. But then I went home and I started to work on these files, and I noticed that the Sony files, and this is the A7R3 and A7 III. I shoot 99% of my work is off camera flash, and I'm a working photographer. I do photo shoots as business, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
99% of my work is off camera flash. I shot with the A7R3 and the A7 III, and the back of the screen, you couldn't trust it. I could not trust the back of that screen. I would take a shot and then I would be like, wait, this looks overexposed. I'm like, what's going on here, right? Now remember,
Right.
this is coming from me owning a Nikon, never having these issues, right? Never having
Right.
these issues. What you see behind the camera is what you get, right?
Right.
So diving into a camera and you see that your screen looks funny, you're like, okay, so now I'm trying to change my exposure, right? I'm trying to change my exposure because now I'm seeing like, okay, this doesn't look right. So I'm fixing to see what looks good. Then I got home, import these things into Capture One, and bro, the picture looked properly lit. When I watch it in the camera, even through the viewfinder, it looked properly lit. Open
Right.
that in Capture One, it lose 2 stops of light. Like the picture
Right.
looked like there was no light on. Like
Right.
I didn't use it. Looked like it was taken with natural light, right?
Okay. Right.
So these were the issues I was having with the camera. So then I reached out to other photographers who have YouTube channels. They've been raving about these cameras and stuff like that. I reached out to them because I mean we're cool. We know each other, right? So I reached
Mm-hmm.
out to them. I tell them, yo, I'm experiencing these problems with these cameras. You guys experiencing these problems? And all of them, all of them was like, yes, we are experiencing these problems, but we work around it, right? So
Right.
I was like, so if you guys are experiencing these problems, why aren't you guys telling your viewers? Like
Okay.
why aren't you letting your viewers know that hey, these cameras have these issues? They was like, no, they just brush it off. You know what I mean? So I tried with it. There was like try this, try this, try this, try this. I tried different things, bro. Nothing was working. I did not like how the images look from that camera. All right.
Right.
So I decided, you know what? This ain't for me. I don't like Sony. I do not like at all what this thing is doing. Because my whole thing is, bro, I cannot be paying $2,000, $3,000 for a camera.
Mm-hmm.
I had A7R2 and A7R3 with our camera flash. Didn't have problems with that. Well, so the thing
Well,
is,
it
uh-huh.
was if you had the HDR turned on, so the HDR would take control. So in other words, you would see what the HDR would look like in back of the camera. Versus, so I think at that time, like you said, at that time when A7 III, A7R3 came out or whatever, is making a name for itself. I think they was everybody was doing such a review on them so fast versus having time to go through the camera and be like, okay, how do I fix this, right? Then after a while, you just have to, like, I mean, of course, later on, they're like, oh, this is how you fix this issue. Which, it may be an issue, may not be an issue, because the HDR was gonna show you what the process JPEG looked like if you was to shoot JPEG. So versus like a full, like you said, like if I'm shooting manual, hey, what I shoot is what I want to see when I get home. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
I
Right.
had that. So that was one of the things they suggested. I turned that off. I had that on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the problem with me is the issue. This is why I wanted to make the video, but then like I was like, I had two minds because there's so many Sony fanboys out there. I was like, you know what? I just let me avoid this thing, right? But the issue
Yeah.
is, I'm from the Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the issue I was having, why I got so upset is, once you're in the Caribbean, we do not have the luxury that you guys have up here, where you guys can rent a camera, right,
Right.
and
Right.
try
Right.
it
Right.
out to see if you like it. Or let's say you buy a camera and you don't like it, you can bring it back and get your money back. We don't have that
Mm-hmm.
luxury in the Caribbean. You understand? In the
Right.
Caribbean, we have to order those things from the States, or if they have them in certain stores, you can buy it. But once you buy it, that's it. You can't carry it back and get your money back. You understand where I'm coming
Yeah.
from?
Right.
So
So I don't know
yeah,
if you
that's the
guys can
ACR
see.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was one of the things that got me upset because like nobody's talking about these stuff, and people in the Caribbean are buying these things going off of what they're seeing on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what like everybody that reached out to me when they saw that I sold it, I was telling them, and there are many photographers, you including, who
Mm-hmm.
I've shown the issues I was having, and a lot of them say, dude, I never experienced it until you say that, because they didn't pay attention to it until it was brought to their attention, right? So a lot of photographers, some who I spoke with, they ended up switching to a different brand because they realized the issues that the camera was having, right?
Right.
I always told everyone, listen, the only advantage the Sony has when it came out was the IAF. It had a better focusing system than every other camera.
Right.
But I told everyone, I say, hey, hold on. Once these other cameras catch up, it's going to be a problem because Sony has other issues that these other camera manufacturers don't have. You understand
Right.
where I'm coming from?
Uh-huh.
So that was the whole thing with me. So that's why I sold the Sony, because my whole thing is, right, I cannot be paying premium price for a camera. And then the first thing I have to do, everyone is say, oh, you color grade anyway. So what? Everyone color grades or whatever. The people are finding excuses for the camera. You understand where I'm coming from? You don't you
Yeah.
so my whole thing is every other camera, I can take a shot, and exactly how the picture is, I can give it to my clients. You understand where I'm coming from? Every other camera. So
Right.
why should Sony be an exception that every time I take a picture, I gotta go home and fix it first before I give it to my clients?
Right.
You understand? And you're paying premium price for a camera that you know when you take a picture, you gotta go home and see what it looked like first.
Right. So I trust me, I understand. It was definitely a knowledge to learn as far as to cut this setting off. You know, that's why sometimes when you have too much to offer clients, it can be so it can confuse everybody. But I still like Sony. I like Nikon. I like Fuji. I like Canon. You know me. I know you're gonna say that I play the fence, but I like what each camera can give. It can give, in my opinion. That's just how I feel.
I
Okay.
okay. So my whole thing is right now,
Mm-hmm.
right now
What
with
up,
the
Ike?
because I tested. I think Ike was trying to do the same thing too. He probably was trying to go live on his computer, so that's probably where the problem was. All right, so
Okay.
like right now with the Sony A7R4, I tested that camera. They have fixed a lot of the issues. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the issues got fixed from the A7R4. So right now the A7 IV and up, all these cameras, they're good. But at the time when I had it with the A7R3 and the A7
Yeah.
III, those were the issues I was having. You understand where I'm coming
Right.
from? So
Right.
I sold the camera. I think I was the only one who was bashing Sony, because everybody else was.
It was the Sony Hive, bro. You wouldn't go. You
Yeah,
was gonna catch.
I always tell people, bro, I'm no sheep. I am no sheep. I do not follow the herd.
Yeah.
You understand where I
Yeah.
come from? I
Hmm.
so I like when I sold it, everybody was like, dude, what you sold is Sony. Those are my issues. You understand where I coming from?
Hmm.
So I left the Sony, and at that point I went back to the Nikon D850, right?
Hmm.
And I had buy the D850, and I had buy the.
Did you keep the 6,000 series?
Yes, I had keep the 6500. I had keep
Okay.
that for video, but then
Okay.
after I was like, I sold that and I bought the XC3,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
I ended up with a DA50. My boy jumped ship a little too soon. Well, nah, I, I have no I have no problem jumping ship. I'm happy where I'm at, right? But
I gotta raise my hand to this. I believe
uh-huh.
the Sony 6500. I believe the Sony 6500 and 6300, or maybe the 6500. started a lot of videos for you guys at
Yeah,
that time. At
it
that
did.
time, okay, it innovated. Sony innovated a lot of video in the
Okay, so
game at
that
that
is
time.
one thing I will give Sony props for. As much as I talk trash against Sony, that is one thing I will give them props for because
Mm-hmm.
Sony is what changed the game. If Sony did not come up with mirrorless, we would still be shooting DSLRs.
Right,
Your camera went off, bro. We would still be shooting DSLRs. So they came and they changed the game and they ended up causing, well, let me forcing the hand of Nikon, Canon, and everybody else to go mirrorless.
can you hear
Fujifilm
me?
was going, yeah, I could hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh, that's oh
Fujifilm
man, somebody
was
call.
going mirrorless at the same time as Sony. So those two was on the same bandwagon. All right. But let me continue. So I sold the Sony. I did not like Sony. My experience with Sony was not good, guys, at all. It was not good. And despite what anybody want to say, oh, color grade, whatever, I did not have these issues with a DSLR. I was not going to move to a mirrorless that was giving me these issues. That's my whole take on it. All right.
Right,
So then when I bought the D850 and I sold the 6500, I bought the Fuji X-T3, right?
right.
I had the D850 with a Sigma 35 1.4 and the Sigma 135 1.8. No, all right, he left. I guess he might have to add back. No, I don't know if people who shot DSLR, like I said, I've been in this game a while. A lot of people just started and they start shooting just mirrorless. But DSLRs back in the day, Nikon and Sigma had issues. Those guys, the lens would not calibrate, right? Let me add him back. All right, so I was not getting much sharp pictures with my D850, although I know the D850 is a beast. But the Sigma lenses I had, they needed to calibrate, and you had to plug into USB and all these kind of stuff. If you're a DSLR shooter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And after shooting with the Sony and then owning the Fuji, I was like, I cannot go back to this. So I sold my
Mm-hmm.
D850 and I bought the Nikon Z6, right? So that's when I had the challenge with Keydrin when we did the shoot. That
Hey,
was with the Z6.
I remember that video because I think that was right around the time. I'm like, yo, who are these dudes, bro? Like these guys, Rob Hall was there.
Yeah.
Here y'all had the YouTube on lock. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. As far as photographers, black photographers, or just me coming in looking like, yo, these dudes getting it in, like, and you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? I would go out and buy lenses. I'm like, okay, he used that lens, that lens. And I'm like, damn, my picture's still not looking like his. What am I doing wrong? And bro, it didn't even dawn. I was so trigger happy that it didn't dawn on me that y'all was like editing these shots too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, lights. I was like, dang. But y'all made that shit look so much fun. And then y'all was getting it in, bro. I kind of wish y'all bring that back, man.
I
People
that's it.
too.
I man, I had loved that because we got together. It was so much of us. You know what I mean? Like all of us, we
Hmm.
was at that place and we were having fun. We were shooting. We need to do more of that. You know what I mean? We need to do
Right.
more gets together. But I don't know. I don't know what it is that we can't just keep one head and But anyway, I digress. Right?
Ike said, fickle as a feather in the wind. Yeah.
So yeah, so then I bought the Z6 and the Fuji X-T3. Now the Fuji X-T3 had some really good video specs. That's why I got it for video, right?
Hmm.
It was already doing 4K 60. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So from the X-T3 it was way ahead of its time. And I ended up liking how it shot, and that's how I ended up staying with Fuji. Fuji was never supposed to be my main camera. It was supposed to be my video camera, right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
then I ended up liking it so much that I ended up staying with it. Now, this is what a lot of people don't know. I didn't plan to fully invest in Fuji because up till now, I only had two lenses for the Fuji. I had the 23 1.4 and the
Hmm.
90 f2. That's it. So
Okay.
it's not like I was investing in Fuji. Like I was like, okay, Fuji's the camera I'm gonna stay with. It was the camera that was working for me at the time. You understand what I mean?
Right.
And up till this day, it's a great camera. Up till this day, I love Fuji. The Fuji is a
Hmm.
brand that is a company that gives their clients or their customers everything they need. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
the reason I left Fuji, I'm leaving Fuji right now is and you can go on YouTube and you can check it out. Like you have to find what works for you. Yeah, they legit. I'm gonna upload some raw files to the streets after a
Okay.
job. Yeah, you have to find guys. You have to find what works for you, right? With the technology and how things are advancing right now, like the game is crazy. Like back in the DSLR days, a camera would take 2, 3 years, 4 years before you get a new camera. You know what I mean? You would have the D750 now, then it would take 3, 5 years before next DSLR drop. You know, but now like a new camera drops every 6 months, and you have Chris is all over the place, bro. Let's see if he jumps back in again. Okay, Chris, what's going on? Your
Bro,
internet.
people keep calling, bro. Any
Put your
other day,
phone
it would
mute.
be quiet, bro.
Put
It
your
would
phone
be.
on do not
I
disturb.
did, bro. That's what I did, man.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
You know what? Let me put mine on do not disturb before somebody come
Hey, the camera don't come back on. That's
yeah.
crazy. So,
I don't even know
oh
how you put do not disturb on this thing.
man,
Oh,
here's my, and I haven't only been shooting about three
okay.
3 years now, and
Uh-huh.
big respect to all of you guys who and I'm not just saying this to just be saying it, but big respect to all you guys who've been shooting the DSLR times, the old, I'm gonna call it the Old Testament times versus the New Testament
Yeah.
times.
It's
But
true. It's true.
all jokes aside, because now I understood why certain photographers, when I first started shooting, they was like, it almost kind of like, man, you got to learn the hard way. I ain't just gonna give you the game. You coming in with a mirrorless, you then they got the codes to the test, but some of us didn't even know how to work the mirrorless. We just like, it's a camera, it's dope, it's gonna
Yeah.
take dope pictures or whatever. Or we see a lot of guys on YouTube using it. Um, but even like now, there are times where I don't even use eye autofocus. I'll use, either if it's single shot
The single
mode or,
shot. Hmm.
yeah. And then, because you may run into one thing as a photographer, you're going to run into, you're going to have to troubleshoot. There are going to be some times to where you're going to have to troubleshoot whether you had, portraits, events, there's going to be a time where you have to troubleshoot something to get by to get through all the way. So as people find out what works for them, or they chasing the latest and greatest that works for them. And that's the thing. Somebody asked me yesterday, "Hey, are you going to get the R5?" And I was like, mm, it since I do this full time, to be honest with you, when I did have a job, I would buy the A7 III, R3, the R4, because I was like, oh yeah, I want to see what's the difference is. I can't blow money like now that I'm doing
Yeah.
photography full time. I got to be able to justify that 3,500. Like, I'm
Yep.
like, hold on, okay,
And
the
this is
flip,
this is what I tell people, not to cut you,
yeah,
but this is what I tell people that working photographers and YouTube or content photographers is two
yeah,
completely different things. You
yeah.
understand what I mean? If you're a content photographer and you're just doing stuff for content, you could test a camera and
He said
just
what I
shoot a
did.
and
Yeah,
just shoot a couple of shots.
I got laid off, dog. So like, hey,
Hey, one door closed and another one opens. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's the thing for me. It's like if you're a working photographer, you're gonna get something that makes your job easier, makes your life easier. And
mhm.
as a working photographer, the Sony was not doing that for me. You understand where I come from? And that's what I tell a lot of people. I worked, to be honest with you, I worked harder on my images with the Sony A7 III and A7R4 than I did with my Nikon D750. You
Okay.
know what I mean? It took me
What was the harder part, or what would you say was the harder part?
Okay, so one, I couldn't trust what I saw in the camera. That was one.
Okay,
I couldn't trust what I
okay,
saw in the camera. And two, every time I take a picture, I know I have to go home and fix it. You know what I mean? So my
okay, okay.
workload doubled because now I would take the picture and I know for sure when I go home I have to fix these Sony files before I give it to my clients. With my Nikon D750, I could take the picture, right? And I could give them the SD card. I tell you, you know what? taking
Kira said
pictures.
making the Sony files go from green to normal was a no.
But it's bro, it's true. The thing is,
That is true.
if people are real with themselves, bro, and
Mm-hmm.
stop covering up or trying to make excuses for the camera, they would admit it's true. But everybody wants to turn around and say, "Oh, I color grade anyway." So what? I don't want to, dude. That's what I tell you. This is for content creators. This is what I tell you. If you are working and you have 20 clients in a week, bro, you do not have time to be fixing each and every shot from these stuff. You do not have time to be color. I don't color grade on my clients'
Yeah,
pictures. Who got time for
yeah.
that? You understand where I'm coming from? If you are a content creator, you got 6 pictures you're going to edit for the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
week. Of course, you got time to color grade. I do not have time to color grade
Yeah,
every picture from a shoot. You understand where I'm coming from?
right.
So this is why I try I'm holding the camera wrong. This is why I try to explain people. As someone who uses a camera, you want a camera that's make your life easier, right? And
Or
just the
or 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 because you said this right when you talking on one of our shoots. You do want to make your camera easier as far as to the art that you want to create, the shots that you want to create, right?
yes.
Not just like not just because some people take that. Oh, I got so many megapixels, I can take the shot anyway and just crop. Nah, what he's saying is you want it to where it fits your style, fits your flow, it fits your art in taking of your shots. In
No, no, no. I just want the camera to make my job easier. That's it.
damn,
I want that's why I say the technology right now has come to a place, bro, that the camera is doing 60% of the work. You understand where I'm coming
okay,
from? The camera is doing 60% of the work because now the cameras of today, it does the IAF for you, right? You
hmm
see what
hmm
your shot is going to look like before you take it. That's 60% of your job done. The other 40% is you making sure you get the right composition. You make sure your lighting is right, and that you
hmm
pose your client the way they're supposed to pose to look most decent in the picture. You understand where I'm
right.
coming from? So if a camera is doing all this, why would I now get a camera that's going to give me more work than a camera that was back in the day wasn't giving me?
It wouldn't give you that much work.
Yeah, bro. Okay, so
But here's the thing though. Here's the
uh-huh.
thing though.
Mm-hmm.
You dealt with it for a minute. You dealt with it for a minute, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
you said you was in the Caribbean. You dealt with it for a minute. You made it. You took some shots. You made it happen, right?
Yes, I
It was
did. It
just
took me.
yeah,
It
yeah.
gave me more
See?
work to do it
So
though.
you so if I give you any camera, you would know how to make it work.
Of course, that's
There
not
you
the issue.
go.
That's why I say,
It
dude, you
hey, it
can
only
give me
made you
any
stronger.
camera. You can
It
give
only
me
made
any
you stronger.
camera. You can give me any camera, and I would make magic with it. Any camera. Because when I had the Sony, I made magic with the Sony as well. So
hmm
look at this. As you said that, right? I did
Yeah.
a one-on-one, a retouching one-on-one recently. I think
Mhm.
2 weeks ago with a photographer. Like when I do one-on-ones, they send me their files, right?
Right. Right.
So they send me the file to work with, and I edit it for them as we're going through the session. So he sent me the file, and bro, I opened it up in I didn't check what file it was yet. I opened it up in Capture One, and I start tweaking, bro. When I start tweaking, because I was like, why this? Why this doing this? Right? So then I watched down below in Capture when I see Sony A7 III. I was like, oh my god. I was like, bro, are you serious? So it instantly reminded me because I haven't used Sony for so long that I never had those issues. So this is to show you. This was a reminiscent. This brought me back to show you that because I didn't know what file it was, but I was like, this is not like it's giving me a hard time. And as I looked down, I was like, that's why. Back to a Sony 5. So this is what I tell you. It's not something that I'm just making up. It's something that even recently I got the same file from that camera. I was like, all right, this is annoying. And he saw it himself. That photographer saw it himself because while we were doing the class, I went and I showed him a Fuji file, I showed him a Nikon file, and I showed him the difference. I showed him the difference. And he saw it for himself. So he himself was like, all right, I need to switch camera. Not my fault if he switches. If he switches, hey,
Oh man. So
of course
what was the issue then?
anytime you so with the A7 III and those anytime you try to lift like the blacks or the shadow,
Oh
it screws the whole picture.
yeah.
Like with
Yeah.
any other camera, if you leave the blacks or the shadows, it only messes with the blacks and the shadows.
Right.
When you
Right.
do that with a Sony A7 III, it changes the whole image. It gives it like this grayish, funny kind of
Yeah.
tone. It
Yeah.
kills the image. So
Yeah.
this is what I tell you. You see, you yourself admit it. You understand?
I
So
mean, I mean, when I first started shooting, those one of the things that I would notice right away until you become more exposed to, you
to other
know,
brands.
right to okay, I give you that. Other, till you become more exposed to other cameras, and then you start diving deeper into your color correcting, you know, because it be times where y'all will be like, bro, you don't see the magenta. I'm like, bro, I don't see no freaking magenta, and like now it's kind of like, okay, I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. The
and
eyes
then
get trained.
yeah, your eyes get trained. Then Sony's are definitely known for their greens and magenta, especially when you're shooting um, especially when you're shooting like especially on Sigmas. You're shooting like the older Sigmas and then the DG models. The greens are definitely going to be there. He said APS-C for
APS-C for
vacation.
vacation. Well, that's what APS. Okay, so but the thing is, right? I
Hmm.
don't worry. You gonna jump in here later on, but the thing with APS-C, bro. You cannot tell the difference. I shoot Fuji exclusively for how many years now? 3 years. Can you tell
I
the
guess
difference?
so.
You can't
I
tell the
guess.
difference. You can. None of you can pull up next to me with y'all full frame and try to make me look bad with my APS-C. Not one of you guys. You understand? You cannot tell the difference. It's just a camera.
I say he can. Oh, I
I
guess we.
can. Huh? I, I,
I guess.
anyhow,
I,
anyhow, right?
hold on.
So,
I
uh-huh.
guess if you go in low light, we were like,
Okay. So number one, you're the photographer. You own your position. What if I'm shooting a client, I'm not, and I know, which I don't have a problem shooting at night because the Fuji does the same thing. It does work at guys, right? They don't
he said,
want
if
no
I took
smoke
the same
outside
picture,
street.
you
All
could.
right, let me see what they say here. Hold on, because these things going up so quick, man.
Hey, it be like, hold on,
Baka
what your
said my
ISO
next
on? Hey,
camera will be
what your
APS-C.
ISO on? Oh.
Okay, but
Listen,
listen, the thing is, right? Let's be real for a
I'm just
second.
being funny. I'm just being
Yeah, all
funny.
right, but let's be real for a second.
Hmm.
The thing is, Ike saying that about the camera, he needs to go and test it, shoot the camera, right? Because go take the Fuji camera and go shoot at night. I have shot at ISO
Right.
6400 with the Fuji. It y'all underestimate these cameras a lot. Y'all think because it's a smaller set, so all of a sudden it can't do that. The camera can, it's capable. You understand where I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
it got some high. They got some high dynamic range in them. They do. I ain't gonna say it though.
So moving on from that, right? Anyhow,
Okay.
yeah. So all these cameras are capable of today, but the thing
Hmm.
is, like I say, in today's in today's world with the technology that we have, bro, there are so many cameras. He said, "Y'all, bro, I shot 3 weddings with the 500 D500. Hey, the D500 was a beast of a DSLR too. That was the APS-C, right? Anyhow,
Hmm.
so now we are at this point where I'm with the Fuji, and that's my main camera.
Hmm.
But like people don't know what goes on behind the scene. You know because I talked to you, right? And
Hmm.
when the R5 dropped, right? I told you that was the camera I was looking at. I've been looking at the R5, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and I was like, yeah, that camera looking real good. And I've been watching the i5 since it was released. But
Hmm.
I stuck with the Fuji, you know what I mean? Because Fuji, like I said, Fuji always make sure the customers are happy. They give them updates to fix firmware, whatever. But the thing with me is, like I said, Fuji wasn't supposed to be my main camera, but I used it. It worked. But the thing with Fuji is, like, they cater a lot for street photographers. They cater a lot for people who like to travel. Their whole thing is keeping their camera small, compact, and light. Right?
He said 12.8 is unusable on the APS-C, but
All right, we're moving on from that. So the thing with me is, hey, just leave Ike over there, okay? Leave Ike in the corner. Go and
Sony with the dual
leave it to
native
the Fuji.
ISO. Sony with the dude on there, ISO. Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna let
Hey.
y'all have y'all moment. Let me know when y'all done so I can continue.
Hey, it's all good. What was the fastest? What was the highest shutter speed on the Fuji? Is it four
It
eight?
had it, it had 1/8,000th of a second. People need to learn
Damn,
how to use
the
the camera. Don't
6400.
let the camera use it. Exactly what Jeff is saying.
What
That's
did
the
he
thing. He said people need
say?
to learn how to use the camera. Don't let the camera use them. Exactly.
No, no,
With the
no, no.
depth of
Yeah. Which is true. Which is definitely true. If you know what tools you have, then you know what you can do, what you can't do, and what you can, so what you can create. So most definitely, I'm not
Kerwin,
saying that's gonna break a camera. So,
welcome back to the big boy census. Oh gosh. Okay.
oh wait.
Patrick said Kerwin stated dismiss. I'm not sure what you mean, Patrick. If you're talking about the Sony, I guess that's what you mean. I'm not sure. All right. So the thing with, like I was saying, the thing with Fuji is Fuji caters to. They want to keep their bodies small. They want to keep their lenses small, right? Now, I love my bokeh. I shot with a 70 to 200. I shoot with a 135 1.8. The Fuji, I have the 90 f2, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
90 is a 135 equivalent on full frame, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
f2 equals to like a f4 or f3 f4 something on a full frame. So the depth of field is not as much as I would like, right? Fuji
Mm-hmm.
is not going to make 90 f 1.2, which would equivalent to a 135 1.8. You understand? Because
Right.
that lens would be massive. So it would defeat the whole purpose of having a small body with a big lens. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I want that. That's something I want. I want that. If how was the Fuji 51.4? The Fuji 50 f1 is a nice lens, but that f1, hold on. Hey, you got a calculator? What is the 50? The 50 becomes a 75 on a full frame, I think.
Mm-hmm.
F2 on APS-C is like f2.8, 3.2 on full frame in terms of depth of field. Exactly. So you don't get the depth of field as a 1.8, right? But so now, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? So that was the issue for me. I want a camera that can give me that depth of field. Yeah, the 50 is a 75. So you get 50 75 at 1.5, right? Which is okay, but for me, I like the compression of the 135. That's my go-to. I love my 135. You know, and Fuji doesn't look like they're making any strides on anywhere on trying to do that for their people. So I can't stay with I like. Oh yes, this is what I was saying. I want, if I'm a situation, because like I say, we sometimes you have a client and you're doing a photo shoot and you're in a position where the background is noisy or is busy, right? And you want to just destroy that background. Hey Marco, what's up? You want to just destroy that background. You can do that with the 135 at f1.8. You understand where I'm coming from? So you
Right.
could take that picture and then just destroy the background with that. Sometimes you need that, you know?
Right.
And I can't get that with the Fuji because they're not going to make those standard lens for that camera. And that's the issue for me, where I decided that hey, I need to move over where I can get what I need. You understand where I'm coming from? It's not that anything is wrong with the camera. Fuji is an amazing camera, you know?
So
Um,
even for the full format, they don't make anything for it.
okay, who is going to cough up $6,000 on a
No,
on a on a body,
I
bro?
was just asking if they made it for the full format on that full
No,
format
that's
side.
another thing. So this is
Oh,
this is what kills me. They make the medium format, but then they
I
make
mean,
f4 lenses.
why I say full format? Medium
Um,
format. My bad.
yeah. So the GF50, because the GFX50S has the same sensor as the GF50, which is a outdated sensor for Tamiya. The new sensors that they made, which has the phase detection and the faster focusing, is the GFX50 100 and up. The GFX50S has the same sensor from the GFX50. Hey, Colonel Celestine, what did you move to? Oh, so I am moving to. I still shoot. Hold on. Ah, hold on. I still have my I still have my Fuji right here. Let me just take this out real quick. So I still have the Fuji X-T4. I haven't sold it yet.
Ooh, Fuji ain't cheap. Golly.
Yeah, yeah. I still have the Fuji X-T4,
I'm look.
but
I'm-
just left Canon and got rid of everything. Oh wow! Please don't tell me you went to Sony, bro. Marcus, where did you go to,
we're
Marcus? Did you go
welcome.
to
We're
Sony?
welcome. We welcome you.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
you welcome him, right?
Come on.
I have
Come
a
on.
strong feeling he went because he shoots with yeah, I got a strong feeling he
He
went
shoots
over
video
to
too.
yeah, he went over to Sony. That's okay.
Come on.
You gotta shoot what works for you. But I
Come
am
on.
moving over to I'm moving over to Canon. This is the one that I just got. You see, Sony
Oh, he
A1
got the A1.
and 2. Yeah, that's what I told you. I had a
There you
strong
go,
feeling in
bro.
Sony. You gotta use
Marco,
what works for you.
how you like the A1, Marco? I need to rent that camera. I haven't shot on that camera yet.
Okay, so this is what I got. I just bought this one. This is the Canon R7. And the next body after I sell the Fuji X-T4 will either be the R5 or I might hold on because I hear that they rumored to release a R5 too soon, hopefully this year. So I'll hold on and see. And it's supposed to be 61 megapixels. So yeah, I'll definitely want it because I always told Chris, he can tell you, I always said I need a high megapixel camera because the Fuji's are 26. I want a camera that I can take a full body shot, zoom in, and still have details. So I always wanted a camera that was 40 megapixels and up. So that's what led me to think of the R5. All right. So that's the direction I'm heading. And another reason is Canon right now is Canon is the superior. So Canon is the boss when it comes to IAF. They are leading everyone else, even Sony, right? Okay, so somebody has said something that I want to address. They say Canon a lot of people are leaving Canon because the third party issue. Okay, so look at this, right? Look at this. The
Mm-hmm.
thing with me is Canon Canon has good lenses. The third party is going to come. From what I understood, is Canon does not want these third parties to be making lenses that is not going to perform well with their bodies, right? You could imagine you have the R7, which is phenomenal, right? And then you buy
Mm-hmm.
a Viltrox lens, and then it not focusing properly. You're going to say the camera is no good, right? So no,
Okay.
that's why they put a lock on it. You gotta step up your game if you want to go with Canon. Now Canon has a lot of EF lenses. There's so many EF lenses, and from what I've seen, the Canon works perfect with the adapted lenses. It works like native. So for me, I'm getting the EF 85 1.2, and I'm going to adapt that with the R7. That's going to give me an equivalent of a 135 1.9. You understand? So I mean, let me see what they're saying. Dude, you guys are really going in on this conversation, boy, because these comments are going up so quick, right? I'm not even getting a
Damn.
chance to read.
Damn.
For 1,500, exactly, for $1,500, you cannot beat the R7. The R7 right now, in my opinion, is the top dog in APS-C right now. It's 32
Mm.
megapixels. The focus and everything on that is top par. This dude said, I like medium format cameras, then proceeded to buy a 26. What is Ike talking about, man? Buy a 26 megapixel Fuji, but he had a 45. Okay, Ike, the 26. I bought the Fuji when I bought the DA50. I not even listening to the conversation. Man, I wish I could join this conversation. Y'all have more than one reason why I have more than one reason why I left Canon. I do this for a living. Exactly. So you see, you're a working photographer. Okay, I do this for a living, and Canon was great quality, but not built for us hybrid shooters. Okay, Marcus, explain why you would say that because Canon been known for video, and right now they are doing really good in the photography as well. That Rokinon 815 was full, and they pulled it. Fuji X2 got 40 megapixels though. All right, so Shabaite, I don't know if you have been watching, but there's videos out there saying that the focusing on that is not up to par yet. I got rid of two R5s and two R5C, the entire Trinity. I spent a lot of money on Canon, but got tired of compromising. Happy to have
It
this
ain't looking
conversation
good for
anyway.
Canon, dog. Come to Sony, baby. Come to Death
Nope.
Row. Come
Listen,
to Death Row,
listen.
baby.
If anybody, like I said, this is my
Damn.
opinion. That's why I said take it with a grain of salt.
Say
If
the whole-
anybody want, huh? If those who want to join Sony, they can, oh gosh, he got a next phone call, so he gonna be out again. I just came out last week. That wasn't out when he switched. Exactly. Anyway, I can hop on this. Too much to type, fellas. The overheating was a huge killer for. I never wanted the Canon R5 for video anyway. Did you or did you not sell all your Nikon gear and switch to? No, I sold my Nikon gear and I switched to Sony. I sold all my Nikon gear and I switched to Sony. Not. Ike has me all over the place here.
All right. This, in my opinion, I think the camera to beat is gonna be the FX30, dog.
The what now?
It's the FX30, the Sony FX30. That's gonna be the camera to beat, dog.
That's for video though.
That's you can take pictures too if you want to, but that's that's the
bro,
camera to beat.
The FX30 is a beast. The FX30 is a beast. I give every camera the props, bro. Like I said, the A7R4 and up. I said they got it together. Did I not say that? Right?
Yeah.
But the
So
thing is, they rubbed me the wrong way, and it's kind of hard for me to just go back to them.
Man, I shot with the R5, the new R5. Let me see if you want to send Ike an invite, get him in here.
The new R5? Which new R5?
The new
You mean
Sony got the new
R5?
R5.
A7 R5.
A7. Oh, my
A7.
bad. A7 R5. My bad.
Because I was like, R5 is Canon. I was like,
No.
The A7 R5. I could only assume that camera is a beast too. I cannot.
They in my opinion, they all the same. They
Nah, they have greatly improved from the A7 III. I will say that much, bro. Because man, the A7 III had me frustrated, bro. Me frustrated. So they have come a long way. Like I said, they were new in the game. You know what I mean? They had to get all the eggs together and get stuff correct.
The mirror. So Sony filled the void where nobody was hitting yet. So that's
exactly.
all. And sometimes when you get there first, you got some kinks to work out. But so
that's the thing.
Like
the
I
other
said,
guys they already knew the sauce. Sony was still trying to get the sauce. You know what I mean? They had the.
They took over the market. They took over the market, bro. They
did. They did.
They took over the market, bro. They flooded the market with their cameras, and then they was like, "Hey, stay in our ecosystem where you have all these third party lenses. You can invite your cousins and aunties over."
Okay, so let's be real for a second, then, right? You yourself, you said it was expensive to switch camera brands, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, let's say if you could have started all over now with the knowledge you have today, because when you started, you started with mirrorless. You never was a DSLR shot.
Never was DSLR.
Right?
No.
So and then
the only
camera.
The only DSLRs I shot was the Canon Mark III. The Canon Mark III. It was. They had a Mark III, right?
The Canon what?
Canon. Man, I know that it was a 3 to it. It had like a Mark III or something like that. It's a DSLR.
Oh, the 5D Mark III. Okay.
Yes, 5D Mark III.
You're talking about the DSLR. Okay. Yeah, that was the 5D Mark IV was the bad boy though. The Mark III was okay, but the Mark IV was the bad boy.
I actually like the Mark. I actually did like the Mark III. The Mark III was pretty cool.
It was pretty good. Yes.
Yeah. So those were the only DSLRs I've shot on. I'm pretty sure. I mean, those other ones you buy from Walmart don't count. But I did like the Canon 5D Mark III. I also like the Canon 70 to 200. The L series glass.
Okay. Let me jump on that for a sec, right?
Okay.
Because they're saying that that they're not letting third parties for the Canons or whatever. Dude, there are so many EF lenses. Canon
Yeah, but
has
you gotta adapt though.
okay,
Nobody
but
wants to
hold on,
adapt. Yeah.
but hold on. Okay, so what if okay? So listen, my whole thing is, bro. There's ways that
Right.
thing that the adapter is works native with those lenses. That's what I'm doing, bro. Because I'm not coughing up $2,600 on that 85
Bro,
1.2 when
so
I could have.
hold on. So just
Uh,
go back to if I buy a $3,000 camera, I gotta adapt it
no, 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 no,
to
no, 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 no,
uh
no, no. You can buy the lens. There is the lens. There's the
right.
lens. It's
But I
not to
might
say
as
that
well
there's not a
hey,
lens.
I might as well go Sony and save money on the lens.
Okay, but that's true. So so I'm not arguing with that, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying that there's options to get lenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's the same way you have options to get the Tamron and the
hmm
Sigma. There's options to get the EFS lens. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right,
That's
right.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, because people are saying, "Oh, the lenses are so expensive." I'm
No.
a
Can if I adapt, if I was to adapt, I would rather adapt to a Nikon. If you use a Nikon lens on my Sony or a Canon on my Sony, you know what I'm saying, or or vice versa.
I'm
That is my.
surprised that they haven't made an adapter for Canon to Sony yet, because then they can adapt those same Sony lenses on the Canon. I'm surprised they haven't made
Nikon
that an
have
adapter yet.
Nikon
Exactly,
have yeah.
Nikon has adapted for the Sony.
Canon saying they don't want to fuck with nobody.
Well,
Canon is saying this. Canon is saying we no longer make cheap cameras. We're not going to. Y'all need to get on this. There is more than what is good or better. So much more people need to know. Uh, so
yeah, we all need to get into more than what is good or better. Exactly. There's so much. That's the thing, and this is what this conversation is about. That's why I knew today this conversation would have been hot. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because everyone wants the best and the greatest. It's not the best and the greatest. You got to get what works for you. You
right,
understand?
true,
Because I
true,
can give you the best and the greatest, and you still cannot create the image that I can create. You understand? People
right,
need to understand that it's not. You get a camera that works for you, and you make that camera work for you. You don't.
true.
You don't. You. A lot of people, they just go out and they see on
hmm
YouTube, they see this camera doing this, and they're going to buy the camera. But then you get a camera, you still don't know how to use it. Every
True.
time I teach somebody my off camera class, I teach them how to use the camera. You know what I mean?
True.
Because a lot of there is so much to photography. There is so much to photography. People just think that you just buy a camera, you're going to shoot. Chris can attest to this, because the first time Chris met me was at
Keygen's 100K.
Keydrin 100, Keydrin
Yeah.
100 K. And ever since then, Chris has been soaking up knowledge from me like a sponge, right? Boy, this dude would be standing up in the back and just watching me. And then next 2 days, I see him going, he do the same shot, right? I respect Chris for that, because Chris, he doesn't say much, but he would be standing and he would watch you and just soak up knowledge. And that day, I did some lighting at Keydrin's 100, right?
Yeah.
That that Chris and Kane, they
King,
two was
yeah.
just standing up in the corner, and they was watching me. Just like, what the hell is he doing? What the hell
Yeah.
is he doing? Because I had one shot. I had the light so high above the sky, like they was like, what
Word.
is he doing?
I
And
was like,
then when
what is this guy doing? The light was like all the way in, like I'm like,
yeah,
it's almost like you go to the gym, you see this dude with all the plates on, oh, he about to do this shit. Like, oh, let me see what he about to do, you know what I'm saying? So it just gave you a different perspective about lighting,
yeah,
but like, you gotta play with lighting. Lighting is I think that's why I also like shooting outside more, because you got different obstacles or challenges when it comes to lighting. So I remember the one time I went to a shoot, forgot my adapter right then and there.
oh my gosh, I get something else. Oh
But
my
you was
gosh.
about to ask me a question earlier about if I had to start over, which camera
Yes,
would I
if you
choose?
okay, so with the knowledge that you have today, right? Forgetting about you knowing Sony, whatever, you have the knowledge that you have today. If you had to choose a camera to go with, which camera would you go with?
Ooh,
With
I would
all the
say
different cameras they have on the market right now, and money is not an option.
money's not an option.
Yeah,
Ooh, Man, that's tough, bro.
You see, that answers the question right there.
That's tough.
That's it, because there's so many good
There's
cameras
so
on the
many.
market.
If I had to choose, honestly, I did love the Nikon Z6. I don't know why that camera really just
Resonated with you?
it really did. It really did. And I know they had a Z9, and then I did like Ike Z9. The Z6 just really felt it felt, honestly, to me, I felt like if I had some extra money right now, I would still probably buy the Z6. You
The
know what I'm saying?
Z6?
Yeah. So, I don't. And this not knocking Canon or Sony or anybody
No,
else.
no, no.
It's
It's
just,
it's just
yeah.
your
Oh yeah.
opinion, bro.
Yeah. It's just an opinion. It's just what the Z6 had gave me, as far as file quality, and I mean even Ike Z9 gave me a good. I mean the file quality, they are definitely the same. But I guess, in other words, you know how people say, "Oh man, I don't need all the money, bro, just a little chump change." I feel like the Z9 is like you hit the lottery with that joker. I just need to, just get my foot in the game. So I would definitely take the Z6.
The Z6?
With the 85. This one guy did have a 200. I don't know if that adapts to the Z6 or if that's a lens for the Z6.
It adapts to the
Okay,
Z6.
okay, never mind. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I would definitely take a Nikon with the Z5 actually shot pretty good too. This
Yeah, the
lady,
Z5 is
the
nice. Yeah.
Z5, yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Eh,
I'm gonna ask her for this one on one I did. Her Z5 shot really really good.
yeah.
But the Z6, between Sony or the Z6 is probably what I would go for,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, I mean
All
that's
right.
just
No,
you know,
no, but
yeah, yeah.
that. See, I like that, because at the end of the day, people see that it's not,
Mhm.
because you stick with what you have, because it's expensive to switch brands, bro. It's
Yeah,
expensive to switch. If you are heavily invested in Sony, you know what I mean. So it's not like you could
yeah,
just up today and say, you know what, I'm gonna go with a Nikon Z6, because it's too expensive to switch camera brands. You know what I mean?
right,
For me, it's not that bad right now, because I never really invested into Fuji like that. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's why I can afford to switch. If I was heavily invested in Fuji, I would not be switching it up. You know what I mean? I'd have to
Right.
ride it out until whenever. But if I had,
Yeah.
like me right now, if I had the options, and this, anybody who knows me from the Caribbean, they can tell you. You see how I felt about Sony, how I feel about Sony. That's how I felt about. That's how in the DSLR days. That's how I felt about Canon. Right? I did not like
Okay.
Canon, bro. Right? So someone coming like from that now telling you that if I had to choose right now, I would choose the Canon R5.
Expensive. What do you say? Uh,
Expensive is not the word. I went from Canon to Canon and back to Sony. Never again.
damn, damn. Marco, what did Marco say? Why he went to Sony? He
Yeah,
went to the A1.
he said
So
it's too
he must
much
shoot.
to explain and type in. That's what
He
he was
must
saying.
shoot weddings. Do Marco shoot weddings? Because he
I
went
know
to the
he does
A1.
portrait. I know he does portrait work. I know he does a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
portrait work. So
Because he
I'm
went
not sure if
straight
he
to the
does
A1.
wedding too. Let me see. Yeah, Fuji allows you to get out because they're cheap X line of gear. Exactly. That's the thing. Fuji is a lot cheaper than the other brands. It's APS-C. You know.
Oh, okay. Hold on. The Fuji, not the medium format.
No. The
Uh,
X body.
okay.
I mean, right now the XT5, which is the latest one, you can pick up an
Mhm.
XT5 with all the latest technology for $1,600, though. That's still cheaper than Sony full frame.
Yeah, but then I think you gotta look at, okay, what am I limited to on lenses though? Like you said.
Nah, Fuji has an arsenal of lenses when it comes
Okay.
to the APS-C, because remember their focus is on APS-C, so
All right.
they have an arsenal of lenses. So
Yeah.
that's not a problem with them. Like Canon right now, Canon make a beast of an APS-C and they ain't got no lenses for it. You know that R7 is a beast, but they got no APS-C lenses. So you know what I mean? It's just you can't win, bro. You cannot win. You know what I mean?
Has anyone shot with the Hasselblad?
I did. Listen, so they had a Photo Plus in New York when I was staying in New York,
Yeah.
right? And I went and I tested the Hasselblad, bro. I watched the picture. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I asked the guy, "How much is this camera?" It was slow though. It was slow as hell, like to focus and everything. But I loved what I saw. I was like, "How much is this?" The guy told me Is this one we have a special going for today? It's only 22,000. I said, excuse me. He said 22,000. I said, here's your camera. I just gave him the camera back in his hand, and I
uh,
walked
hey,
away from that place.
you know what other camera I like? I can't afford it. Leica takes some nice
Yeah,
shots.
yeah.
Yeah, Leica ain't cheap, man.
No,
So
it ain't. It ain't. I just
yeah,
bought the
Leica was like,
XT5.
yeah.
New to the photography game. Had an XT20. You're gonna love the XT5, guys. This Fuji is a great camera. Don't let me switch in deprive you guys from. Fuji is a great camera. I have my reasons for switching, which I explained here. But if you guys love having fun, you're not too
Hey,
focused on the
get
bokeh stuff.
Get Marco on the call. So
Okay, let me see.
I want
All
to
right, let
hear
me
the
see
back
how
and
we
forth.
could send. Let me see how we could send Marco the link. Marco, I'm gonna send you the link, but you have to be on your phone. So Kerwin, so how was the R7 on the feed? The R7 is a beast, bro. The R7 is a beast. Marco, I'm going to send you the link on Instagram. Hold on. And I gotta make an IG
Yeah, yeah.
reel for my wife. I shot on the Z6 too.
Why
Fuji's
not?
awesome,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
the
Add
finish line.
Marco. Hey, so here's my
Okay,
thing.
hold on. Let me send Marco a
One more
message
question.
thing.
One more question, real quick
Yeah.
before I go.
Okay.
So we all know the color signs gonna be different from Fuji and Canon, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting to see what you're gonna produce with it. I feel like you
Say
moved
say what now?
between. I'm waiting to see what you're gonna produce with it.
Okay, with what? The Canon?
Hmm.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Okay.
on. Let me give you. Okay, so listen. This I haven't. These pictures are going to be from my YouTube video coming, right?
Okay.
Well, let me show you guys
No,
what I'm
I'll wait.
talking
I'll
about.
wait.
No,
I'll
no, I
wait.
just want to show you guys a quick snippet. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about, right? Hold on. I don't know if it's gonna look good. All right, so it's showing
Yeah,
bright.
that's why I said. That's
Th-
why I said we'll wait.
yeah,
We'll
so
wait.
we're gonna hold on. But
We're gonna wait.
these, if I could have shown you guys the picture, this is straight from camera, straight
Hmm.
from camera. This is what I live for. I want my camera to just how I see it is how I want it to be. And this Canon does it. It's really nice. And the focus is when I tell you subpar, like it's a APS-C I zoomed in, bro, and the eyes was tack sharp. Tack sharp.
Well, we all know APS-C focus is better than full frame anyway. So
I don't know about all of that. I don't know.
you
I
ain't
don't
got
know
much
where you,
sensor.
I don't know where you. Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could get Marco
Oh
here.
yeah, see if you get Marco here. Now
What else?
I'm definitely waiting to see because now I'm wondering, right?
Uh-huh.
Is your so because I know Canon, I know they hit on the greens and the oranges, right?
No, this I don't have any issues with it so far from what I've tested
No,
it
no,
on.
I'm saying I know Canon are definitely known for their greens and oranges. Like they just look really good straight out of camera, right?
Uh-huh.
So I want to see, man. We're gonna definitely
Uh, da, 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 da,
see.
da, da. Let me see here. I like this new thing that YouTube is doing so people can Canon is more red heavy but it looks good. Okay, that's the thing, y'all. The photos gonna look the same. You know why? Because Kerwan know what he doing. He just switched brands because his fingers cramped. Oh my
I
god.
I never said he didn't know what he was doing. I just know that it's almost like if you switch producers, you're gonna probably have a different sound. I'm not saying that it's gonna be bad. I just want to see what are you gonna produce on this
Yeah.
side of Buchanan. That's all.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just for Ike to know, this is also an APS-C camera. This R7 is also APS-C. So we gonna see what comes out of it. But like you said, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. A lot of
All right.
it,
So
it,
let
it
let me
doesn't
jump
matter.
out so you
All
see
right,
it and
all
then
right,
all right.
all right. So hold on. Let me send you the other link. Copy. You have to be on your phone, Marco. I just sent you a next link. I just sent you the link. So click that one, but you have to be on your phone. Man, it's good to see you guys. Let me go back on these. Let me go back on this thing, see what you guys are saying. I hope the focus is not. Oh, that was another. Oh gosh, thank you, J Max. That was another thing I was having with the Canon. I mean, with the Sony, right? The Sony, when it focuses, you can watch. I don't know if you guys have. I even asked a photographer to send me an image because he told me that the A1 does focus on the eye pupil. I say no. Sony has a tendency of focusing on the eyelash, not the pupil. Canon locks in on the pupil, right? So you guys check your Sony files, see if it's really focusing on the pupil or if it's focusing on the eyelash. That was another issue I was having with the Sony. Did the link work, Marco? I'm on the phone. The link is taking me to a support page. Uh, I don't know. Hey, Chris, if you did send me the link on the message, let me send him the link that let me send him that link because I don't know why it's doing that. It says if you read the link, it says support. No, you got to do it from your phone. You have to do it from your phone. All right, hold on. Let me see if I could get the link from here. Hold on. Let me send you an invite. Hold on. Um, copy link. Instagram. If I black out, I'm still here, guys. Just let me send this to what's his name? Marco. All right, let's see if that works. I hope the focus is not. Oh, okay, all right. Let me know if that one works, bro. All right, let me see. Like next time, use StreamYard or something that's this way easier. Yeah, yeah. Next time I'll do that. I just wanted to try this new way of streaming with the phone, and it works pretty good. Next time I'll do the StreamYard. You guys have any questions yet? That's why I am switching to Canon. Believe it or not, I'm switching to Canon. Um, I'm waiting to see what the R5 II is going to look like. I hope it has the rumors are it's going to be 61 megapixels. Nah, shout out to you for trying it though. Yeah, yeah, it's nice, man. But next time I'll use the StreamYard. But it works. It's really nice. Let me see. Let me read some of the comments. You guys, R5 II will be way too expensive. You'll come back to Fuji. Hey, Tay. So listen, I might even you never know. I might hold on. I might hold on to this. I might not sell this. This might be my travel camera or something. We'll see. We will see. But so far, I'm not going to lie. What all gear did you end up getting rid of? So I traded in my XT3 with the kit lens. I just got a quote from Adorama today, so I'm going to see what I could get with that. But I have the right now. I have the R. Where did it go? I have the R7 with the full frame 16 to 2.8. I did some video with this thing. Man, this is nice. This is nice. I did not have to worry about the focusing. I had some issues with the Fuji X-T3 with the focusing. I don't have this with this. This thing will find your eye at a distance and it will lock in. Props to Canon. This R7 is a beast. I love my Fuji, but you gotta give proper its due. And Canon has nailed their focus. Let me see. Are you going to be heavily invested in Canon? Yeah, I want to get so okay. So with the experience that I've gained over the years, right? Like when I started out, I was into zooms. I bought the XC3. The focusing wasn't the best, man. And the problem I had is once I give someone the camera to use, when I go home, the footage is focusing on the back and not the person, so I couldn't use the footage. So that kind of messed me up. So that's why I got the R7 for video. When I started, I was into zooms. I bought the 70 to 200, the 24 to 70. I had the what was it? The fisheye lens. I can't remember what size it was, but I was into zooms when I started. But with the knowledge that I have right now, I don't buy zooms. My lenses are I would get the 35, I would get the 35, I would get the 23, and I'll get the 135. Right? Those three lenses are all I need. I have shot weddings using just those lenses. After that, I don't need anything else. I travel light. I don't need to have a bunch of weight with me. You know what I mean? But even with the Canon, the 70 to 200 that they have right now is really nice. But that thing compacts really small. But I'm sticking with just primes. So with this Canon, I'm gonna get the R5, and my lens will be. So I planned it out. So with the R7, when I shoot the 85 on this, it's going to become a 135 1.9. So 1.8 similar, right? So I'm going to get the 85 1.2. So if I need that 135 field of view, I'll put it on my APS-C. And if I want the 85 1.2 field of view, I'll put it on the full frame. That's using your noggin, you know? So you get best of both worlds with one lens. And then I'm gonna get the 35 and the 23. I do not need anything else more than that. If I'm doing weddings, that's perfect for doing weddings as well. So that's those are my go-to lenses. I don't like the Nifty 50. It's a great lens. I just not for me. I don't like the Nifty 50. What other lenses are there? The one of the lenses that I really love, but other companies don't make it, is the 105. That Nikkor 105 1.4, but they don't make it. They don't make it for other brands. I don't know why. My boy KC Portrait Photography is Team Fuji too, bro. Royal Focus. All right. I would connect with you, bro. I get the XT5. Hold on. I get the XT5 Wednesday, and I would like to see what you've been doing lately with your Fuji. Okay, okay. Are you going to get RF glass, or would you save some money and get EF secondhand? So I'm getting the 85 1.2 secondhand. I'm getting it adapted. I got a good deal with Adorama for the body that I traded in. I'm getting a really good deal. So I'm just going to adapt the 85 1.2. The 85, the RF 85 1.2 is $2,600. Dude, like it would be nice to have the lens just for the body, but sometimes you got to think if you really want to spend that kind of a money. When I can get a deal and get the 85 1.2 EF and just adapt it. It says you should send the link via text. All right, send me your number, bro. Send me your number on send me your number because I really want to hear your gripe against Canon. No. See, so it sounds like my gripe is against Sony, what you went with, and no, it's your gripe against Canon. So I would really like to hear check DM. I'm selling my 85 1.2 EF. Sigma has a sig one. Sigma has a 105 1.4 for which camera? Which camera? All right, hold on. Let me check my DMs. Send me a text. All right, bro. I'm going to send you a text now. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm doing more than one thing. I'm talking to you guys. 105 Sigma for Canon EF. Oh, I gotta check that out. I definitely gotta check that out. Hold on. Copy. I'm sending you the link now. Marco. All right. See if that works. I just sent it to you. If or when I upgrade, I'm looking for the XH2 only. I think it's more future proof over the other. Okay. We used it in Houston when we met up. I shot with it. Aker, are you going to WPPI? Man, I would love to, but oh, I gotta see. I gotta see. If I get the days, I would love to. I've never been to WPPI. It would be awesome to go. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we will see. We will see. Did it work? He said nothing. What is going on? Oh, there you go. See, there you go. I got you. All right. What did you do different? What did you do different?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Uh, I don't know, man. You have to send it via text.
Oh, it's via text. Okay, okay, okay. So that's what it is. All right. So, so talk to us, bro, because you saw that you got a lot of anger based on Canon, man. So what's up?
All right. So first of all, man, good to see you, brother. Happy New Year.
Yes.
It's been
Happy New
years
Year.
since I saw you here in Miami.
I know,
You've been
right?
up to a lot, man, and I'm just super proud of all the accomplishments that you've done over the years. So kudos, man. It's
Thank
good to
you,
see
thank
you.
you, thank you. I appreciate
Um,
that.
Look, let me preface this by saying this is not a Canon versus Sony versus Fuji versus whatever the fuck. Like for all I care, man, you could be shooting on a Kodak. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. But what really matters, guys, is what gets the job done for you and the style of photography that you do. In my case, okay, I do commercial work. All of the work that I do is primarily campaigns. So I let me give you a little preface of the story of how I got to where I'm at. I started with Canon. Canon is a fantabulous system. It's very responsive. It feels great on the hands. Everything they say about Canon was great. Back in the days, it was a 5D Mark IV, Mark III, and a 6D. For stills, guys, Canon, if you're a still photographer, Canon for me would be the one. Okay? Back in the days, remember back in the days, focus and recomposing, right? Like
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
you gotta
Focus
get
and
your shot,
recompose. Yeah.
All right.
Focus and recompose.
Then here comes Sony with some really good eye autofocus and that technology. And again, when we look at the history and I started looking at my shots, I got to the point that I was like, well, I'm getting, 6 out of every 10 shots are going to be in focus
Yeah.
versus 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 in focus by using the the Sony mirrorless autofocus. This is early stages, guys. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is it for me because my customers are going to have more options to pick out of and license. If I'm giving you more options to pick, then you're potentially going to do more of a media buy. I'm looking at it as an investment. Okay. So I went Sony. And that's when I met you. I remember I even bought, I think, a camera from you.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, like you were
Yeah.
getting out of it, and that's when
Yeah.
you went to
I
Fuji, and I
think
was like,
yes,
you
it
know
was a
what?
Sony. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
sold
and
you a
I'll take
Sony.
that camera. I remember
Yeah.
we met at
Yeah.
that restaurant, and
Your
I was
restaurant,
like, yeah,
yeah.
I'll buy that camera from you because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
needed a spare system, a
It
spare
was the
backup.
A73, I think it
It
was.
was an
I told you.
A7 III, right?
Yeah,
I was
yep,
shooting with
yep.
a R3 at that time,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This is gonna be my backup camera. I'll put it aside.
Dang, man,
Everything
we
was
we go back.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's been a couple of
Yeah.
years, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and lo and behold, Sony was amazing. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt like I compromised a little bit. As a still photographer, right? I realized that I had to put a lot more effort into getting those colors that I really like from Canon. For all intents and purposes, you can shoot
Thank.
any
Okay, so wait,
Canon.
wait.
You
Not to
go
not
ahead.
to cut you. Not to cut you.
No, please do.
Here, here we have it again. Please say what you just said again. The Sony gave
Absolutely,
you more work.
absolutely. And for anyone listening, right?
Thank you very much.
I went from Canon to Sony because of focusing. I left Sony because when Canon released the R5, okay, I was like, this is it. Like, if I left Canon for Sony because autofocus and now Canon has that, I'm coming back, right? Because I miss those Canon colors. I miss the ability of taking a photo and showing it to the back of a camera to a client on set, and it looks exactly like you took it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
That doesn't happen in Sony yet. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And so I was getting tired of having to explain myself to a customer when we're on set. And I showed them a back of the camera on a Sony, and I was like, yeah, well, we're gonna bring it up and post a little bit. And they
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
the colors don't
yeah,
look right. And I was like, yeah, that's just Sony. Don't worry about it. You know my
yeah,
style. Trust me. I
yeah,
had to have that conversation.
yeah,
Give them that sense of comfort. That
yeah,
the $50,000 investment they made on
yeah,
my campaign shoot, it was going to be fine.
yeah.
And when and
To add to that, it made your job harder too because you, as the photographer, could not trust what you were seeing in the back of the camera.
let me
That's the
let
other
me let
issue.
me let me dive a little bit deeper into that statement. It didn't make my life or my job harder. It made the impression that my clients had of my work. I had to explain myself a
Yeah,
little bit more. It felt like maybe customers and clients were losing a little bit of confidence in
yeah,
my ability, in my
yeah,
services, in my skills.
yeah,
Because when they were looking the back of a camera, it didn't match what they were seeing on my portfolio.
yeah, yeah,
And that to me is enough reason to leave any system,
yeah.
whether it was Canon, Fuji, it didn't matter because
Especially if you're paying that kind of money for a camera.
I'm not in the business of losing clients.
Yeah,
Simple as that. I was not going to let any brand diminish my brand, my efforts, and all the work that I put into developing a style.
yeah,
I just wasn't going to do that. So when Canon came out with the R5 and the mirrorless, actually they came out with the R, I think it was first. I didn't like
mhm,
that shit, that little like
yeah,
left or right button. I didn't
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
I was like,
That sucks. Yeah,
this is new. Let's let them
yeah,
develop a little bit before
yeah,
I come back. Once the
yeah,
R5 came out, I was like, that's it, man. One camera to do video and photos. Because I also at that time the industry was developing more into hybrid work, right?
yeah,
More video. Remember the brands go after what the platforms demand, and the
yeah,
platforms are demanding more video, and the brands were favoriting video. I mean, I'm in the business of commercial. I got to do what they say, right?
yeah,
And so one system, Canon came out with the R5 that can do both. Well, lo and behold, you would flip that camera to video and it would melt in your hands, right? That was a huge thing for me. I was like, what the f? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and it wasn't even like it would overheat and like you could turn it off. No, no, no. Once that camera overheated, you couldn't even use it for stills anymore. And so I rode the wave, man. I bought two systems. I had one for video and one for camera, and I had the same lenses. It was easy for me to change the lenses. I
yeah,
don't like carrying double systems because that
yeah.
means double everything, right? And
Exactly.
so I went and I bought an R5, another one. One of them was dedicated for video, the other one was dedicated for stills, and at any point one could act as a backup of the other one.
Yeah.
Once the R5C came out, I was like, finally, Canon solved this problem by doing what everyone else said they should have done: slap a fan in the
Expand.
back of the Sting, and it's working fine.
Yeah.
I think that they stole that idea after they saw the Sony FX3, and they
Yeah.
saw that it had a little fan. They're like, oh shit, this is the fix. Let's do that, right? That's what I think. And you know what? It worked, man. The R5C is a fabulous camera. If I had to go to Sony and sorry, back to Canon, and I had to pick one body, it would be an R5C because, in my opinion, it is a true
Video
stills
camera.
camera, and it is a true video camera. But what is not, you cannot call that a hybrid camera. Period. And I'm going to
Yeah,
elaborate
it's
on
too
my
big for that.
it's not a hybrid camera because you cannot go on an R5C and flip it and operate it an entire day. You literally have to carry a backpack full of
Yeah.
batteries because you
Yeah.
only get 30 minutes of runtime. Runtime. The moment you flip it, the timer starts, you get 30 minutes on your battery. Okay. So imagine for me to operate now the R5C, I had to rig it with battery packs and all this other shit. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to shoot stills. Now I gotta de-rig this and turn it into a photo cam. It's not working. Okay, so this is when I started losing faith in Canon because Canon, in my opinion, has a dead tight lock on their platform. Ultimately, they decide what they want. But my concern with Canon is that they have a deep control into their RF line, into the system. And did you guys also notice that a little bit after the R5C came out, suddenly there was a firmware upgrade that fixed the R5 and prevented all the overheating issues? Like, you serious about that? Like that was like a little, for me, that I was like, y'all, like you knew this. Like you were trying to sell cameras. You were trying to sell an R5C, and when it was already in the market and people were buying it, you slid that little fix in the process. That was a little bitter moment for me with Canon. That's when I started paying attention, the fact that they were trying to monopolize and trying to keep that audience in just buying more. Listen, at the end of the day, they're in business of selling product. The product is the camera. We can't hate on that, right? It's our fault for committing to these brands. End of story. Right? Now, here's when I started really going back and looking at Sony. Because when I do a lot of video work now, a lot of the clients that I do video work, they don't want me to edit it. In the video space, it's actually very common for anyone that's on this chat that's listening. If you're a videographer, I'm sure you can relate. But in the video space, it's actually very common for you to just shoot it and deliver the footage, which for me, it was great. I don't have to deal with video editing. Here you go, right? The problem that I was having is that now my clients were coming back and saying, man, I gotta buy like a mega powerful computer to run these MXF, I think, files from Canon. The Canon files, man, are a monster to deal with. I myself had to upgrade to a MacBook 16 M1 Max or
that's the one I have.
And like that's the only time that I could handle Canon files, right, without proxies even. And so, but I can't expect my clients to do that just to be able to work with my shit. Like that's not. You need to be a problem solver, not a problem giver, right? And so I started looking at, hey, now I got to carry all these batteries, and my clients are complaining of the files. What else is out there? What else is out there that can get the job?
Question then: why didn't you just if they wanted raw, why don't you just export it in a smaller format? I mean, they won't know the difference.
That's a great question. I don't have time for it. A lot of the times during the shoot, I back it up and then I give them a drive right there and then. The expectation on video sometimes is you need to deliver that on set.
So that's one thing up here that I have to get accustomed to, because in the Caribbean we do wedding photography. I did wedding photography in the Caribbean, and we have if we do a wedding, we let our clients know it's a minimum of a month to 3 months before they get the pictures, right? When I came up here and I started talking to wedding photographers, and these guys would tell me they turn around pictures in a week or 2 weeks. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Listen, we in the Caribbean we go through all our pictures. From what I understood from here, like you guys just give them the raw, and I mean, so it's a whole different experience up here.
Yeah,
so
man.
You saying that right now? Like in the Caribbean, we wouldn't do that. I'm just telling you the difference. So, like, if we have to do video for somebody, we're not giving them the raw. We do not give raws of anything.
That is very common in the consumer space. When you're working, to simplify, when somebody's paying you out of their wallet, that's the consumer space. Weddings, portraits, models, that's consumer. You never give.
So you're talking about company.
When I'm talking about commercial brands, that's called a media buyout, and they're actually paying me triple to own that.
I get that part.
And so I have to turn it over right there and then. And so I couldn't, I wasn't gonna proxy and I wasn't gonna do media conversion on set. Like I'm just trying to go home.
Yeah.
So that's when clients started coming back and say, hey, we have to do all this extra work just to be able to read your files. And here's the one that I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem, right? When one client came to me and says, The other guy, we don't have to do that.
Yeah. That's
That
when you
was
gotta start
a
doing.
red flag for me, man.
Yeah,
Again, I
yeah,
mentioned this earlier. I'm not in the business of losing clients. It
yeah,
costs a lot of money for me to gain a new client.
yeah.
A lot of time and effort, right? A lot of whining and dining for me to get a new client. I am never going to lose a client because they don't like the files coming out of whatever camera. I will
Mhm.
change the camera before I change the client.
So why
Simple
you
as that.
chose Sony?
I started doing a little research and I went out and bought an FX3. And because I asked the client, like, can you send me like a little clip? And then I read the metadata and I was like, Sony, okay. And I started going out. I went to a couple of colleagues here in Miami that they're full-time videographers and full-time commercials, and Sony was kind of like, I was like, I was a little jaded because I was like, well, how is it on the video space? Because I remember the stills were like, God, Lee, I
Yeah.
have to work all this
Mhm.
work. But on the video space, man, I bought an FX3. I remember, and color grading Sony footage was like cake, like easy, man, like easy. And that's when I was like, that's it, man. I gotta come back to this thing. And then so for a little bit of time, I went out and bought an FX3, two FX3s, and then I was doing the whole dual lens thing. I was
Mhm.
holding on to that Canon for dear life.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get rid of those colors, man.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, you also got to be practical. That carrying two systems, if I had to
Yeah.
travel, that meant
That don't work. It don't
double
work.
everything. And so, in the end, the industry's changing, and in the commercial space, the industry has changed. They're favoriting more video,
Video.
and
Yeah.
and, and
Yeah.
so for me, I was like, if I'm shooting 80% more video and 20% more stills, then now I can actually go back to Sony because most of my work is being delivered as video. Now,
Yeah.
why did I pick the A1? First of all, the reason why I picked the A1's the new one, A75 or whatever, the R5, whatever the new
Yeah.
one with the funky flippy screen,
Yeah.
um, that was being announced, but it wasn't out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get this job done, right? So I went and picked out the A1. I have zero complaints on the A1. The files that come out of it, they're actually not that bad. Like
Yeah.
I
That's
don't,
why I said
yeah,
from the A7R4
yeah.
and up, Sony has really improved
They stepped
their
up the
colors.
game
Yes.
with the
Yes, they
color
really
science on
have.
this camera, man.
Yes. Yes,
And
they
and
have.
I'm dare I say, for any Fuji, yourself included.
Yeah.
The other day, I did a shoot, and I sent the file to a Fuji user, and he was
Photographer.
like,
Yeah.
"Is this a GFX you went out and bought?" And I was like, "No, man. I just learned about color
Yeah.
science,
Yeah.
and COVID happened, and I had a lot of time in my hands, and I learned about color, and I learned
Yeah.
how to color science, and now I can pull any color out of any camera."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of effort on my side, but I can tell you the one complaint that I'm currently getting, but it's not from a client. It's from my
Mhm.
retoucher. My
Yeah.
retoucher says these Sony files are very sharp.
Yes.
There's a lot of detail in
True
these files.
story. True story. When I
There
had
is
the
a lot of
A7,
detail in these
yeah.
files, and
But
and she's coming back to me saying, it's a little bit more effort, and I was like, hey, I'm
okay,
keeping
so
you employed, man. You know what I'm saying?
my thing is not the details. Wrong choice of word. It is sharp. It's
Correct.
not the
Correct.
details.
Correct.
It
Correct.
is sharp, and that's a problem. That's another
Yeah.
problem I have with the Sony, right? Because when I had the A7R3,
Mhm.
the I don't mind details. The details is not a problem, but the fact that it's so sharp is like
It is sharp.
when you start to edit, it
Mhm.
start to make like it had this one client I did, and I started editing her pictures, and dude, her skin was looking like alligator skin. Like the
Yeah.
texture, it wasn't realistic because it was so sharp. The skin texture was not realistic.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that was another issue I had with the Sony 5. I don't have a problem with details. I love details,
Yeah.
but let the details look realistic. And the
Yeah.
Sony
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
because it was so sharp, it did not look realistic.
Yeah.
And that
No,
was another,
and
yeah.
you're
Now
absolutely
that you
right
say
about
that,
that.
that was another
You
issue I
you
had.
you're doing a lot of your retouching. You're getting involved with these files,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely right. Right. I looked at it myself and I was like, you know what, man, like you're right. These files are almost too sharp. And
Yeah.
I've played around with it. I put, lenses and diffusers in front of the camera, but ultimately you're just kind of jeopardizing the overall quality. Whatever you put in front of your lens, you're gonna bake it into the file, and I don't want to do that either, right?
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing that I'm hearing about the Sony files. And but that's internal. That's my retoucher. My client, super happy, right? Now, in terms of video, I can tell you almost instantly that the same client that complained of my files on the next shoot, I didn't tell them that I had changed my systems. They don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
care. They,
They
they
don't
could
know. They
care
wouldn't
less,
know. Yeah.
you know? But 2 weeks later, like, hey, I made some changes. Um, what does your editor have to say about these, like, and they were like, oh yeah, like, whatever you did, like, keep doing that. And I was like, I just went out and spent $15,000 on a whole new system, so yeah, you better be happy with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, ultimately, guys, it's really what works best for you, but more importantly for your clients, right? Because we are not in the business of losing opportunities or clients. So for me, the way I treat my business and run it is I will always prioritize my clients over equipment. Whether, look, here's the A1, whether, I got to hold my pinky over it, I don't care, man. I'll put a grip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll put a grip on this thing.
So you're
But
shooting the FX3 and the
I'm
A1?
shooting. This is my setup. A FX3 and
Okay,
the
so
A1.
here's my thing. Here's my thing. Um, when the R5 came up, we knew the R5 had issues overheating. That was a given. Okay, so why would you buy the R5 knowing that it had? Why would you go into that system knowing that it had those issues?
Okay, so that's a really good question. So when this started happening, that's when the platforms were beginning to transition and favoriting videos. So I had
Okay,
really no demand for video the
okay,
first year or two, even with the R5.
okay. So the next question, the follow-up question is, okay, no, you did it. You did say that. You said that the R5C, you had to have the whole rig with batteries and all the stuff. Because that was going to be the next question. Okay, so you sold your stuff before the R7 came out.
Oh yeah. My
Okay,
my
okay,
conversion to Sony happened, low key happened in October, November last year.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna tell you that R7 for video, dude, you cannot go wrong with that R7 for video.
Oh,
I
I'm sure, man.
yeah.
But here's the thing for me is I maybe I
I
was
wouldn't advise you to switch again,
no, bro. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Um,
though.
here's maybe I'm a little jaded, with the fact that I felt like with Canon, we were guinea pigs, we were test puppets. You know what I mean? Like they put
Yes,
out these products, and we went and we bought them, and then nothing worked or things didn't
yeah,
work. When I went back to Sony, I really had to sit down and say, okay, which camera has been out in the market that delivers? I don't want to buy Sony's latest camera. I want to buy Sony's tried, true, and tested camera. And that was the A1, their flagship camera, right?
yeah,
Then the A5 came out. I'll tell you what, I love this camera. This is actually a really good video camera. It delivers really good quality. You know what I
yeah,
mean? No overheating. Like it's a great. I actually have it, as you can see, it has a cage, right? So at
yeah.
any point I can build it if I needed to. Here's the only thing, and I didn't really
This is
realize,
nitpicking.
man. This is the one thing that I
Yeah,
didn't really realize how much I use this until I didn't have it. It's like that good girlfriend that got away.
yeah,
That was it. The screen, man. When I'm shooting vertical and I'm like this, I can't. I wear glasses. I'm getting
yeah,
old, man. Like I'm losing
yeah,
my sight, and so at
yeah,
this here, I can't see it. I need to be
mhm,
like this. But with a
yeah,
flip screen, I could bring it down because if you look at my work and my stills, I shoot up a little bit. And so a lot of my work, I'm having it, on the Sony. I remember that it was like, down here. I'm sorry, in the Canon, and it was great, man. It was like I didn't realize how much I used that flippy screen until I didn't have it. But other than that, guys, in my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I know this is really expensive shit we're talking about, but ultimately what matters is what gets the job done. And I am a hybrid shooter in the truest sense of the word, meaning I need to be able to switch my camera from one thing to the other, from one roll to the other quickly and come back. And with Canon, I couldn't do that, man. I had to carry backpacks and I had to rig it and cables. And God forbid you forgot this one cable, The one thing that I am extremely happy with Sony is also the community and their support. They've been phenomenal in supporting me in my upgrade. I'm actually looking into an FX6. So that is probably going to be my next step up camera. I don't think I'll go higher than that. My work doesn't require it. But I am booking a long-term contract job. It's actually a documentary that we're going to be shooting. And I think the FX6 is going to be the one for the job, just because the great thing about the FX6 is you can actually grab it, slap a lens on it, and you're good to go. You can build it if you want to, but you can also keep it as small as possible. And actually, the body's not that big. It looks big on YouTube and all these things, but if you ever seen an FX6, the body alone is actually pretty small. It could actually be a true run and gun video camera, right? And there's a lot more tech with it, which is great. Right now, I'm really enjoying the smaller form factor. I can put these things in a backpack if I need to and travel. It happened to me already once, where the airline company was like, "Oh, we're full. You're gonna have to check this in." And in that crate, man, I had two FX6s and two A1s. Sorry, two FX3s and two A1s, and I was like, that's not gonna go in there. I literally grabbed the cameras, put them in my jacket pocket, and then I was like, okay, take the rest. Like, I'm good, So it's one of those things, man. Again, Sony's great. Everything about it, I'm really happy with it. On the still side, yeah, it's a little bit more work to color grade it, but it's not impacting my customer. It's impacting me, right? And I'm okay with that. I can deal with that.
I can't.
but
different.
The difference is also the Sony A1. It is better, man. It is better.
No,
I have seen files from other Sonys, and they don't look the same. They don't look the same. I'll shoot the same color card. I do a color checker. You could try this. Anyone that has access to both, put a color checker, light it with a steady light, like continuous light, and then same lens, same different bodies, and then let the colors are going to be different. I think Gerald Undone did something like that, where he put both and in same lighting conditions, and the files look different. So I can tell you that the Sony A1, the files, you can get to your look much quicker. They still need a little bit finessing, but I work with Capture One, and so I developed ICC profiles that when they read the A1, it comes right in and it knows what to do with it, So I'm pretty happy. I still don't like that the back of it looks completely different. Like that, I don't know, man. Like I think if Sony just fixed the freaking LCD, the A1 would be the holy grail of all cameras, right? I put that camera through the test and through the ringer. We were shooting in Phoenix not too long ago. It was 120 degrees out there, and that camera just kept going, man. My strobes, Profoto strobes, man, like overheated, like not even 30 minutes into the shoot. You know what I mean? We had to have multiple, like swapping strobes, and the A1 just kept going, no issues. So I'm really happy with the system, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a very expensive, long journey, more expensive than long. But ultimately, again, it's what matters to my clients, bro. I'm not in the business of losing clients. Bottom line.
I feel you.
I see a lot of comments. I got it going on here. I just have to kicked up. So I hope I covered a lot of these questions. Photomiotic. Let me see. Cam, Mikey said the thing he said. Canon, cripple, hammer, him switch, Sony, all the can. Yeah, basically, yeah. Here's another guy, right? Cam. He's a amazing photographer, very talented filmmaker.
I've
He's like,
watched his videos and
he was like, this just doesn't work for me. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I can't keep changing all this shit on set, Sorry
Yeah.
for the cursing.
Yeah, you're demonetizing me right now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm new, guys. I'm
Alright.
new in this YouTube space.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to put out more content, specifically
I'm
not so much
this
about photography,
huh?
but really about the business of
Yeah.
photography. I think a lot of people need help on that space.
Yeah.
So sorry about the cursing.
Nah, you
I'm
good,
new to it.
man. You good, man. Yeah, I'm trying to take this YouTube a lot serious this year, so I'm gonna be putting out a lot more content. Starting, that's why I started with this, you know. But yeah, man, it's good talking to you. It's good hearing your feedback on Canon. This shows that no matter which brand you use, there's always going to be pros and cons. There's always going to be people that like this one for this or like that one for that.
Yeah.
You have to shoot what works for you.
Right.
You went from Sony, like you said. I just remember when you said you bought my A7 III. So you shot Canon, went to Sony, went back to Canon, back to Sony.
Back to Sony.
So at the end of the day, you gotta shoot what works for you. You know, Sony didn't work for me, unfortunately, and I gotta go with what works for me.
No,
Right
and
now, it's
listen,
Canon.
in the wedding space, like whatever works, man, because it's very like you gotta go. You don't get a second chance. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it's also long hours holding these systems, right? So
Yeah.
I remember like Canon just has that really good feel in the hand. It's very
Yeah.
comfortable. Sony is like your hand starts to cramp a little
Cramp
bit. If you
up,
got
yeah.
bigger hands, like your knuckle will hit the. I remember the early stages, your knuckle will hit the
Yes,
lenses.
yeah.
It's a lot of
Well,
compromising. You know what I mean?
I can't ever say anything about the ergonomics of a Sony because I shoot Fuji. Fuji got the worst ergonomics.
Yeah. It's like you're holding it like a paper
Exactly,
almost.
like
You
the
know what I mean?
tissue.
It's like there's no grip.
Yeah.
It's like
So
where's the grip? Like you're holding
yeah,
this
so
camera like that. You know?
yeah. Every time I have the Fuji, I have to buy this
You gotta
because
have
this
grip.
this adds this additional grip. Without this, it's just this little thing right here, and that can't work. But with this.
Yeah.
See, look at my hands, bro. I got big hands.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same, man. Hey, we got chubby fingers, man.
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
is, you know.
So,
But listen, ultimately, is what works for you, what works for your business, and
yeah,
what gets you paid, man. What
yeah,
what your clients are happy, they keep calling you back, and you can deliver right on time every time. Shit, like
yeah.
switch and listen. If Hasselblad came out with a faster system, like I'll be on it. But that
Not for
but
that price, boy.
I'm very like very let's get this done now. Like I don't have time. We don't have 20 hours, right? We have a 6-hour shoot day. So I remember, I need the fast autofocus responsive system. Like it's got to work. So I could never go to a medium format. My buddy, my assistant, bought us Fuji, whatever the medium format is. Like it's the newest model, right? And I was like, come here,
Yeah,
man, let me try that thing. And I was like, wow, like I was really impressed, but I was like,
yeah,
wait a minute, what is this like? It's like shutting off and then it comes back, and then
yeah,
I'm like, what? Or
yeah.
or like
It's slow. It's slow.
it's a
It's
slow
really slow.
it's not I wouldn't necessarily use it for commercial work, but if I had like personal work, if I had work that I could take my time with, portraits in studio where you're actually building sets and working and very slow, that would be a great system.
Yeah,
I one of the things I really appreciated about that camera is the amazing file, but
yeah,
also like just straight up file as Capture One Reddit. The quality was very impressive. Like just the colors, man. Like I don't know. I think what is it? They call it the Fuji sauce. You know, it's a thing, man. It's a thing, and I think Fuji's got that
Fuji's got it on
science
lock.
on lock,
This got it on
man.
lock. They got it on lock.
People
Yeah,
look for that color for whatever reason.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna switch a camera just because you like those. I'll rent it.
yeah, yeah,
I'll rent that camera, and then we're just gonna have to slow it down a little bit.
yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with Sony. It's been my powerhouse for the last couple of months. Even we got 8 campaigns booked this year, and it's just gonna be a Sony all day long. And in Miami, man, when the summer hits and it's 80, 90 degrees out there, and it's steamy, it's humid.
Yeah, you guys can have that. I'm good. I live in the
That's when the
Caribbean for
real stuff
majority of my
happens.
life. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the 32 degrees weather we have over here right now.
Where are you? Where'd you move to?
I'm in Texas.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I gotta
yeah,
come
yeah.
out. I'm coming out to Texas, but I'm waiting for warmer climate. I'll be in
Hey, come
Austin.
out, bro. Come out. Well, I'm 45 minutes from Austin,
Okay.
so just
Yeah.
let me know.
I got invited to this Bronco thing that they do, this off-roading adventure thing, and
Mhm.
I got invited to that. And it's probably going to be somewhere in June once it starts getting a little warmer. And
All
I've
right.
never been to Austin, so it's like 45 minutes from Austin. I'll be in Austin a couple of days, maybe set up some shoots with some friends
Yeah.
and colleagues.
Of course, man. We could
Yeah, man, I'd
definitely
love
link.
to catch up with you and just
Yeah, man, for
shake your
sure.
hand again.
For sure, for sure.
All right. Hey,
All
listen,
right,
I
bro.
got to take out, but
All
really
right.
quick, I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thanks
Of
to
course, man.
all your community for just staying on. And
Yes.
yeah, man, hit me up if you guys have any questions around the business side. Happy to help you guys. I'm an open book. There is no secrets. There are no secrets. Just hit me up with whatever I can do to help you out, whether it's quoting, business, legal stuff. Everything I know is based on the fact that I probably messed it up at some point, and I had to, like most of us, right?
Yeah.
But I'm dealing with a bigger budget type of pressure. So anything I can do to help you guys grow in your career and elevate you as a creator, just let me know. All right. Peace, guys. Take
I
care.
appreciate you.
Bless.
All right, cool. I'm gonna let Chris jump back in. Chris, come back in, buddy. Ah, man, listen, I appreciate you guys so much. Like, I am seeing you guys there. You guys are chiming in, and like the comments are going crazy. I appreciate you guys so much. Being from the Caribbean, I'll be honest with you. Being from the Caribbean, and seeing the support from you guys, it's it's I humbly appreciate it. I cannot ask for anything more. The fact that you guys, I appreciate you. Basically, that's me just saying I appreciate you guys. What's up, Chris?
Sony.
Oh man, Sony.
Sony is innovative, bro.
No, I listen. If I must give Sony props for the fact that they have changed the game, they have forced these guys to come out of their comfort zone and create something that is more efficient. Look at you, look at you. Hey, listen.
I got a grade. Huh? My
You
bad.
got a grade. I am trying. Listen, I'm trying to. I think I'm going to get. There's this new monitor.
Hmm.
Okay. There's this new. Dude, you're
Oh,
that
my bad.
loud.
My bad. I turn it down.
There's this new monitor that's out. I gotta check it
Mm-hmm.
out. Which monitor are you using right now?
The
Because
ViewSonics.
you still want to get this one that I got?
give you 200. Yeah.
This dude always make me choke up and drink. Oh man.
Yeah.
Nah.
Give you 200, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
We'll talk. We'll talk after the live. All right. Let me just read some of these comments. See if we. I don't want us to have missed anybody. Or if anybody's saying anything else.
Appreciate you, Marco.
Yeah, Marco came on and dropped his insight, boy. See that goes to show you it don't matter which camera you use, it's not gonna be for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Ike's supposed to come on too, but Ike said he's trying to finish a reel before dude, I can't dude. I don't know how you guys like video, man. Like I have videos here to do and I just be like, ah, give me photos any day.
Cause you it's like with video you can push the creativity, bro. Like it's like you know what I'm saying? Bro, I got on a horse to get to get some shots.
Oh man.
This client, look, yeah, I was like, I know we say anything for the shot,
But video is really starting to take over now. Like most people now when they come, if they want photography, they also ask you if you do
hmm
video as well. So it's really starting to take over.
yeah.
You're looking good though.
You know,
tomorrow I'll be getting my ND filter.
This phone is not doing it any justice, bro. But you get the point.
Yeah.
This is for a client, so whenever she drops it, then I'll drop it. So,
I hope everyone now understood why I left Sony, why I'm leaving Fuji, because yeah. So now I don't have to do a video on it. The video is out on the live. Because I've been having a lot of people asking me those questions, so it's good to get that.
I think you should try it again, though, bro.
Try what, Sony again?
Yeah.
Nah.
We welcome, huh?
We welcome. Okay.
Now,
Ambassador.
here's one thing. I am going to switch fully over to DaVinci, coming from Premiere, right?
I already switched. That's what I'm using right now.
So I have about two other clients that's still a project that's still inside of Adobe, right? Yeah. And once I'm done with them, I'm going to cancel Premiere and force myself
switch over to DaVinci. Yeah, that's what I did. That's all I'm using right now. I removed Premiere. I'm not paying for that anymore. I'm only doing DaVinci now. And I mean, DaVinci is free and it works really good.
Yeah. The color, it just does.
Bacca said,
man, I can't get no Sony Venice, dog. I look, here's me, bro. I ain't got it. I ain't even. I'm like Mitch.
Life they live in.
I'm like Mitch. I'm like Mitch from I'm broke, baby. You know, I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Ike is about that life. That's why.
Yeah.
I just paid $300 for DaVinci. What?
Yeah,
DaVinci is free though.
No, but you don't get all of the. You don't get all the
perks.
Yeah. And then what sucks? Okay. Now here's the thing: if you do shoot Sony, here's the thing: you can't use DaVinci. You can't use the Sony files in DaVinci. You can't use FX3 files. I don't know about A7S3, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same in DaVinci. You got to get the paid version.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what sucks though, because DaVinci is on iPads, you can use the Sony files on there on the iPad, but you can't use it in Studio, DaVinci Studio, which is.
But I played 4K 60p H.265 on the DaVinci. That thing played without no skip, no
I just love FCPX. What's FCPX like? Yeah. See, you can't read the raw files on DaVinci unless it's paid version. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean raw files?
The video.
The ProRes raw.
Yeah.
Oh
no. No, just the regular files. Even if it's like in camera, you could do.
But I'm shooting C-Log on the R7. It's reading it.
No. He's talking about Sony.
Sony files. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, this thing is so Premiere is hog memory, man. That thing kills your computer. This one, it just flows. It flows.
Like, have you guys on YouTube heard AVC? Where's the name? AVI. It's supposed to be like H.265, but it's a Google. I think it's a Google. I believe it's a Google file that Google made, but remember that MP4 and MOV are compared. Yeah. The AVI is a Google file. I mean, it's supposed to be like some kind of Google file for H.265. It's supposed to be better than H.265 or whatever, but that's a new feature now that DaVinci lets you export in or whatnot. So I know if y'all, for the guys that shoot YouTube videos. And then the beast
We are okay, so we already deal with the cameras. We are not getting in this conversation. We are leaving this conversation out of it. Okay?
We are going to have this conversation.
Yes,
We're
we will
going
do
to have
that
it, bro.
no, we will do that on the next live. Not no.
AVI is a Windows uncompressed, I believe. Okay. I knew it was like some kind of uncompressed file that they just released in the last 1 or 2 updates. So now that it's available, I didn't know. Just throwing it out there. I didn't know if you guys had, but yes,
Like
dog.
said, I just love Final Cut Pro so much more for YouTube videos.
Yeah. And the reason, and here's one, and so my reason from coming from Premiere. Now I can edit something faster in Premiere than I can in DaVinci, but Premiere just takes all the colors. It just sucks the life out of the colors. Like if you adjust highlights, it touches the whole image. It doesn't like DaVinci. Even Final Cut is better. DaVinci and Final Cut does way better job at if you adjust something. It only touches what you adjust, and if you're only adjusting highlights and shadows, it only adjusts those things outside of adjusting the whole entire image. And then I even put the same file, same clip, and one of them was like it almost looked like I overexposed the clip, and I'm kind of like, but I didn't. So I put it in DaVinci, and it was kind of like even the color management you can switch to DaVinci wide gamut, and instead of Rec 709, you getting DaVinci's better though. DaVinci's taking over.
I'm scrolling up here. I see T to the M to the IDD said Fuji is king. I was like, wait, doesn't
who T-Mid?
Yeah, I was like, wait, T-Mid is shooting Fuji now? I know he did a video where he tested it, but I didn't know he's shooting Fuji now. He said Fuji is king. Okay, you see?
Hey, bro, people like what they like, bro.
Fuji.
People like what they like. Hey, here's something I don't know if a lot of people know. Nikon is very deep in the medical game too. Like a lot of those, So Nikon's pretty. And then shout out to Fuji for some of the Fuji film back in the, but
Nikon and Fuji was partners before, That's why they have so many similarities in colors. They were partners before, but I don't know what happened and they went their separate ways. But yeah. But anyway,
everybody go their separate ways, bro.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about this new M2 Max?
Nah. To be honest with you, bro, the first one that they made, the one that I have, that's fast enough. That's overkill. Like, why they even bring this thing out? They should have just kept that in the box. There was no need for that. None whatsoever. They already don't outmax the one that they have right now. Where are they going? What's wrong? Dude, they just needed to leave that thing alone.
They just taking y'all money. They just taking y'all money, bro. I told you, Apple will sell you. Will sell you an issue and will sell you an issue and then sell you the solution later, bro. That's just how they do, bro. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
What I have is wait a few days will be a new M Max. Right, exactly.
That's what exactly. So
3 more days is gonna be an M3. It's like, damn, bro. Apple be having people out here selling their kidneys for a new. I was like, oh man,
that made no sense. That release made absolutely no sense. There was no reason for that. Yeah, but there's no reason for that. Like, and that's the funny thing. The people on YouTube, like, all of them are saying it. There's no reason for that. Like, this one I have is already fast enough.
It's a new year, bro. You gotta get the stocks up, baby.
It's okay.
We gotta get the stocks up, right, baby?
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, you gotta get the stocks up, baby. Hey,
but yeah,
hey, Apple is like this.
Apple, Canon, and Sony having us sell our kidneys to buy the ish. That is so.
He said PC guys just mad their computers can come in pieces like Legos. Exactly. Yeah. We can't build a bear around here, but But we have yet to run into an issue that we couldn't solve. So.
Oh please, y'all stay there with y'all
Hold
Lego.
on, because I'm like, hold on,
Hey,
because a
you know
couple,
what, Chris?
no,
We
because a
are
couple
not
of guys,
getting
hold
involved
on,
in this today, bro.
there's some people in the group that they ain't got no motherboard right now on their new Mac. So I'm just saying, but if it was a PC, you could buy that in a PC and be done with it,
Okay, that's a conversation for another day. But right now, bro, with the old Mac, there's no need in
what's
upgrading.
AWS? When I could build one on AWS with all the power I need for one.
Any computer monitor you recommend? The ViewSonic. So there's this one that I just saw. I have it in my I'm going to look it up. I saw it while I was scrolling through Instagram. It's a new one that they say compares with
Oh,
the
Amazon Web Services.
it compares with the Apple monitor, the new one
Oh
that the
yeah,
Apple released. So I'm going to do some YouTube reviews on it. So I'll keep you posted on that, Habib.
bro, just buy it, bro.
No. I got to do my reviews first. That's one mistake I made with Sony. I'm not doing that again. Sony has taught me to
Bro,
do extensive.
but Apple not gonna break your heart, bro. They just want your money.
No. I'm talking about a next monitor that they're
The money.
comparing to the Apple monitor.
Okay.
It's a cheaper version, but it's 5K. It's a 5K monitor.
Man,
Yeah, that's what I say. So we'll see. That's what I say. So I got to do some reviews and research on it first and see. Because I mean, Apple, that's 15, bro. We don't have money to just be dishing out on stuff like that. Like $1,600 just for a monitor, bro.
say,
No.
bro, I can't. 1,600 for a monitor?
Yeah, that's how much they're charging for the Apple monitor, the studio.
No flavor. Saying PC is the same way. I don't know what no flavor is talking about, but hey, it's But
Definitely one can build a PC for a quarter of Mac, but will it be as reliable? Will it last as long? Exactly. But like I said, that's a conversation for the next day.
I have yet to have any issues. Like I said, I know people
Well,
that bought
listen,
a
count
new
your
MacBook,
blessing, bro.
out of the box, and they motherboard gone. I think it's an M1 Max or whatever y'all on, M1, 2 or 3 Max.
Count your blessings, bro. You're one of the few. Count your blessings, okay? I was not one of them that had that motherboard problem. I have never had that issue with my Mac. So
How
yeah,
about a camera
thanks.
monitor? That's a good question.
The camera monitor is what you said the name is the Atomos, right? The Atomos Ninja.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with camera monitors, right? So, in my opinion, I feel people got to get used to the EVF first. In my opinion, the reason why I say that is because now you're going from something that's calibrated differently from. We had this discussion the other day. Somebody saw the port keys monitor versus compared to the Atomos monitor, and they felt like, oh, the port keys look better than, but they felt like the footage was gonna look better. It's like no, all these monitors have different screens or different backlights. So,
But does it
uh,
even matter if you're shooting in log? Because if you're shooting in log,
but,
does it
but
even matter?
he's saying if you shoot no, it does matter. So like I have the port keys. So I bought the port keys and I love it over the Atomos. The only reason why I would probably use the Atomos now is just for like if I had to do like a long recording for a job. But I love my port keys because it matches whatever I'm shooting. It matches up perfectly in camera. So I love the port keys, and the port keys you can control the camera, shutter speed, ISO, focus. You can tap the screen to focus. It controls the camera. It connects Wi-Fi to the camera. It can control the camera with through Wi-Fi, or Wi-Fi direct, or whatever you want to call it. It just can't record. There are a lot of good talk about how good or bad they look. What really matters is how bright, how much battery. Yeah, I like the port keys. In my opinion, I feel like the port keys. At first, I only thought they was made for red cameras. I didn't know you could, but when I saw like, oh no, you can use these with other cameras. But if you for on the photography side, I feel like just use the EVF in my opinion because I think a lot of time when people add monitors on I mean, I don't know. They add monitors, they get so confused with their composing their shot. I don't know. That's just me, but hey, yeah. But on the video side, I say go with the port keys. I didn't have any issues with the Andy Cine, but I do like the functionality of the port keys. So, and my port keys is here. So
See, this is why I can't get into video, man. That is too
yeah, you
much.
can. No, it's not, bro.
Man.
No, it's not.
Listen. I just want to go out. This is why my videos is just gonna be for YouTube. I'm just gonna go out with this, with my 16 2.8 on this, and then just go and record. And that's it.
Nah, bro. Because especially if you're shooting log, bro, you got to see what's going on, baby.
Well, that's why the camera is there to depend on. Once it focuses on the subject, I'm good.
Keyboard keys, and then HDMI cable. My
bad. Chris said that little rig.
Yeah, I'm trying to build me a rig. So, you see it, and yeah. So you just swipe whatever. I like the port keys. It's pretty cool. I don't know, bro. I feel like port keys definitely have a good monitor. So now you can use the Atomos if you want to. Atomos is cool. It gives you more what do you call those? Not formats. God damn. What do you call like MP4s and you get ProRes RAW, or ProRes 444, whatever you want to do. It more Kodak. It gives you more Kodaks if you need that for whatever the job may call. So, but I like the port keys. That's what I'm sticking to. For stills, there's less production gear for the. Yeah, I hate editing so video for me. For still, there is less production gear and more post production time. Whereas a video, yeah, that's true. There are a lot of talk about good or bad. He said also you can also load. Yeah, you can still load your LUTs on there. And like I said, most of the time it matches. So, and then the other problem I have with Atomos is there are some Atomos out there that don't the white balance don't match up. So you gotta either send it in, let Atomos calibrate the screen, or just roll with it. So, or calibrate it yourself.
This is nice, man. I'm watching us talking right here, but I'm watching it on the screen as well. And it's so on the phone it's up and above, like it's on top and below, but on the YouTube it's actually having them side by side. Yeah, that's really dope. That's dope.
So how much you want to let go the monitor for, bro?
It's
27, right?
We will talk off the screen, bro. But
because you remember, I remember you got lucky with that monitor.
Yes, I did.
For Windows users,
different monitors is required to calibrate the screen. Okay. Dang. See, that's Windows. That you know what? That's a conversation for another day. We can have that conversation on Instagram.
No. So, but most monitors need to be calibrated anyway, though. Even Apple's.
Well, not the ViewSonic.
Yeah, but you still can if you want to. When looking for a monitor, you just need brightness, in my opinion, because you're looking for exposure. Right. Exposure, focus, and composition.
So are we talking? Are they talking monitor for?
Marco is talking about monitors
for the camera.
For the camera.
And Habib is talking about monitors for what?
For PC.
For the PC. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm using the ViewSonic. I have to show it to you. So I can go to Rec 709 or all the other deals.
I have the same monitor.
Yeah, so currently has the same one. You can do Rec 709 or all the other RGBs, whatever you want to put it in. I leave these in Rexona now. These are not gaming monitors, but they're made for content creation or photos, whatever you want to call it. Go down the line real quick. Where is?
Oh, I thought you was gonna play a YouTube video. I was like, no, bro, no.
No. I was gonna show. Hey, look what's in my cart.
Yep, that's the one
So
right
yeah,
there.
this is the 27-inch. Then they have the 32-inch. Now they do have a newer model out. That joke is like I think 1,500. I think. And you see, and these come straight out of the box, calibrated. And what I love also is the whites. The whites are white. Like there's no like when I bought extra monitors and compared these whites are like true white. They're not like no faded white or whatever. That was a big deal for me. Even when I bought like a third monitor, it didn't match. The contrast ratios is good on these. So
Yeah, Marco, I've checked out the BenQ, but I went to the ViewSonic.
yeah, he Marco he got lucky on the
Yeah, I got a
ViewSonic.
good deal on this one, boy.
Yeah, the BenQs are dope. I feel like they're kind of the same with the ViewSonics on that scale. But I mean the BenQs you gonna
Spend some money.
yeah. So
All right. Anyhow, it was fun having all of you guys. I am ready to get off of the live because we've been on here for 2 hours and change now. I think the next live we talk about, because I want us to talk about like soft boxes and stuff like that, because I'm switching all my soft boxes.
to who?
Huh? I don't
Where
want
you?
Ed to get mad at me, bro. It's still gonna be Tito's.
Ed don't even run the show. Ed don't even run the show
forgot.
anymore.
I forgot somebody asked me about the black dish earlier.
Yeah. So hold on.
Oh man, I forgot
Nah.
somebody asked about it. They probably left already, but they asked about the black dish.
Hey, hold on. The LGs are not bad too. Now here's one thing I do like about the LGs. If you're gonna use Apple, I do like the continuity of the LGs with Apple. Like if you have an Apple keyboard or whatever, if you hit the volume, it controls the Apple device will control the monitor. I do like that part of
Yeah, but then
the
the
LGs.
colors aren't the same though. You see, like how it has the RGB colors on the ViewSonic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have that with the LG. Yeah, I see 99 RGB accuracy. Yeah, so they don't have that on the LG. So that's the difference right there. That's the difference.
So what softbox you going to, bro?
To answer that question about the black dish, I will not be buying a black dish. I'm sorry, I will not be buying any black dish. I don't know if the person is still on, but if you're still on, I have no interest in buying the black dish. It does not serve any purpose for what I would want or would be willing to use it for. So that's definitely a no. The soft boxes I'm leaning more towards too is now I'm going away from the round soft boxes. Oh, I think it was Hero Shots. He's still there. He's still there. It definitely was Hero Shots. Yes, he was the one who asked me about that question. I'm not going to get into that conversation. You know what I mean?
Why not, bro? The people want to know, bro.
No, but I can just say that I have no intentions, or there's no applicable reason for me to even ever consider using the black dish.
Bro, I think it go good with your new Canon.
No, hell no. But I am moving from the round soft boxes, and I will be exclusively going to window light soft boxes.
Oh, Cheetah Stand got those.
Yes, I will be going with those. I think it's the 11.
You like it?
Huh?
You like it?
So yeah, I'm going exclusively with those. Okay. No, I won't be shooting round anymore. So,
hope you got a bunch of sandbags.
Well, I do find that they will hold out better than the wrong ones. I think the wind will take the wrong ones faster than it will take those.
See, I don't use my window box unless I know I have somebody there to hold it. You know, Well, you say you're going 11. The one I have is 32 by 48. So that thing picks up
I see the black discovery can be up there. Like I say, I'm not going to get into that conversation. I'm just going to leave that at that. Um, Usually with the soft boxes, do you use do,
Oh,
do
you don't own
you
another can of apples now?
huh? No, I'm not getting involved in that one.
No, he
Usually
said,
with the soft huh? Oh,
do you
usually
use
with
it?
the soft boxes, you use the defector. Okay, no.
Yeah.
All right, so listen. So I'm going to have a lot. I'm going to have a lot of YouTube videos coming out soon, and I'm going to be calling out a lot of myths that some of these photographers go out here tell you guys about 8200 overpowering the sun, 8400 overpowering. I'm going to be calling out a lot of myths with these stories that everyone has a different style. Everyone has a different style of shooting. And for people to be telling, like I say, in the Caribbean, we do not have that luxury of bringing back stuff. So this talk, when you guys say you could take a 8200 and you can overpower the sun, all these, y'all need to stop lying to photographers.
The
Y'all need to
600
stop,
not even going.
not even
Not
the
even going. Yeah.
600. So
Yeah.
people need to stop lying to these.
Take out overpowering the sun. Just take that out of
Yeah,
the
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this is what keeps. I'm
Mm.
going to trust me. This year I am going to go in hard. I might get a lot of
But
enemies.
his
I
question
might get a lot
was,
of enemies, but I'm going to get going hard on
are
the
you
hard,
going to
man.
take? His question was, do you use the diffuser in the beater display
No.
in your box?
So listen, when I shoot, I only shoot with the outer diffuser. I do not shoot with a beauty dish. I do not shoot with the inner diffuser. The 8400 cannot overpower no sun Ike. And if you want to,
Hero
us to
say,
go, huh?
he's Hero say, he fucked with you, bro. He messing with you with the speed light.
Man, what now? Them seals coming for you, watch. Listen, yeah, I do not shoot with the with the diffuser inside, and I do not shoot with the inner diffuser. I only shoot with the outer diffuser. One
Mm-hmm.
diffuser, that's it. Because I need every bit of power I could get from that 8400. And even with the outer diffuser alone, that 8400 is still not enough power for my style of shooting. Like I was telling Chris the other day, I was just talking to him. I was telling him about the 1200. I was looking to try to get the 1200 because it ain't make no sense for me to get the 600. I might as well just jump straight to the 12. What you were
The
saying, Chris?
1200. The only thing about the 1200 is it only gives you one more stop of power than the 6. That was my big when I shot with it. That was my biggest one. I was looking for a little bit, maybe even 2 stops, but it only gave me like 1 stop of more power
Okay,
than the 6.
so Ike. Okay, so let me answer this. Ike, you're saying, listen, overpowering the sun and exposing for a proper shot is completely two different things, bro. I shoot with 8400. I can expose a shot properly with 8400. I cannot overpower the sun with the 8400. All right. There's a difference in exposing your shot the way you want it to and using the 400 to give the fill light than saying the 8400 can overpower the sun. 8400 cannot overpower the sun. All right. And
Rob Hall is using the 24.
yeah, if you are shooting and you're using ND filters or you're using a scrim and all these things, that's not overpowering the sun. You're using help to help you with your shot. That 8400 can't overpower the sun. I will have YouTube videos coming out just now, soon on all of those stuff. Don't worry. And another thing again too is people talking. Man, I don't want to give up my things. I hold my. I'm holding I'm holding my stuff for the YouTube videos, but they'll be coming. Y'all look out for them this year. Call look a bunch of myths. Anyhow, just look out for the videos. They'll be coming. Technically, you can expose with any light. Exactly, you can expose with any light, but overpowering, that's something completely different. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's a difference in exposing and overpowering. You can expose and get a shot for any flash. You understand what I mean? That's a big difference. But anyway, It was fun talking with all of you guys. It was, man, the engagement was the bomb. So I don't know. I don't know when the next live will be. Let me see. HSS robs the flash of his power. Yep, I agree with that one. So the ND filter helps the flash from going into HSS. Yes, but that's what I'm telling you. You see, you're using an ND filter, so the flash is not overpowering the sun. You are now using something to aid with that. And this is the thing. So my whole thing is, if you're doing that, tell people, hey, this is how you get it to do whatever it needs to do with the help of an ND filter. But don't come out and just say that this flash can do this, because if you're saying that that flash can do it, then you do not need the help of an ND filter. You catch where I'm coming from, and that's where I have the problem. They're not saying what you're saying. What you're saying is, with the ND filter, you can now use the ND filter, right? And you don't use HSS. You're using the ND filter to darken the scene, and now you're using the full power of the strobe instead of using the HSS. So now you're not overpowering that. That ND filter is what's getting you the help that you need. You see where the difference is? You see, these little things is well, because remember, somebody watching a video and they don't know about photography, and they're going to you and you tell them, yes, you can use the 8400 to overpower the sun, but you don't tell them you're using an ND filter. You know what I mean? And then no, ND filter doesn't darken the scene. Of course, the ND filter darkens the scene. What is he talking about?
I'm gonna let you
What
add
what
Ike in
is
here, dog.
what is Ike talking about? That's where you have the ND filter with the different stops. You darken the scene with the thing where you can shoot. You can still shoot at the sync speed, and then you darken the scene with the ND filter. If I take the glasses off, the brightness outside doesn't. What is Ike talking about? Hey, you gonna jump in or what? Because you need to jump in. If you're going to make these claims, you need to jump in. Did you send me your number? Let me see here. Great content, Casey. Hey, Jerome, I guess he was there. So thank you. Marco says ND filter definitely darkens the scenes, darkens ambient. Exactly. I don't know what Ike is talking about. Let me see here. Let me copy this. Hold on. Let me see if I could get Ike in here. Like, I wanted to leave, but Ike is talking some gibberish right now. So let me put. Let me see if I could get Ike in here real quick. Hold on, Ike. All right, Ike. I just sent you the link on your text. Hey, David. David, thanks, man. David said nice live. Getting you guys feedback right now on Instagram. Thanks, David. Thanks, Jerome. Ike in trouble now. All right, Ike, join in. I just sent you the link. Let's see what he's saying. Who's going to Vegas? I think Ike is going to Vegas. I think Ike is going to WPP. You got to be on your phone, bro. You can't do it from the computer. You got to do it from your phone. All right, if we can't get him on, I guess. Let's see. All right, let me try again. Hold on, Ike. I don't know, because this is what I. That's the same link I sent to Marco. Hold on. Let me copy this. I'll send you a next one. Yeah, I'm sending it. I'm sending it via text. I just sent it to you again. I try to see if you got that one. You need to send via text and photo me IQ on iOS. Yeah, I just sent him it via text. All right, there you go. Got him. All right. Okay, sir. So tell me what you're saying now, because you're saying the ND
Wait,
filter
hold
don't
up. Is
darken
my
the
thing?
scene.
Is my thing right? Is my thing right?
No, you're on the side. Hold it up straight.
Like
All right,
this?
you good now.
Let me break the science down for y'all. Okay, ND filter does not darken the scene. Okay, do you see this scene right now? It is bright, right? I got the lights on. If I put an ND filter on top of my camera, or on top of this iPhone, nothing changes about the exposure around me. Okay, it's still the same. What it does is it makes the camera have to adjust its shutter speed, so it adjusts the exposure.
Like, you just darken the scene when you put the shades over
No,
the
no, no, no.
lens.
I didn't darken the scene.
We are not.
I
We are not.
darkened the exposure.
Like, but okay, but so what is it? What is the scene, Ike?
My point is that with cameras with flash, you said that the ND filter is cheating. It's not cheating because ND flashes are not meant to go past their native shutter speed. You get all 400 watts when you are shooting within the native shutter speed, right? If you're shooting outdoors and it is too bright for that camera to use the native shutter speed, which is like 1/200 or 1/250,
1/250.
this allows your camera to adjust the exposure that the camera is receiving. It doesn't change the brightness. The sun's still the sun. Whether you use this or not, that sun is in the same position. What it does is it helps the camera come down to a lower shutter speed so that you can be within the native sync speed of your flash so that you can get the full 400 watts.
It's
If
not
you go,
okay. Go ahead. I'm letting you finish. Go ahead.
If you go into high speed sync, you are then robbing your flash of its power. So it's no longer a 400 watt flash. It's a 200 watt flash. It's a 100 watt flash. You're not getting the full 400 watts. So by that argument, technically you can use an ND filter if that is going to help you get the full 400 watts, right?
Okay. You finish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the ND filter, like what you just said, right? The camera, the camera, anytime it shoots past the sync speed, right? Which is even when it's 1/200 of a second, 1/250 of a second, that's when it goes into HSS, high speed sync. Yeah. Which, like you say, it does not use the full power of the flash. And it's not that it's not using the full power of the flash, it's the pulsating of that flash to keep up with the thing is what's causing the strain on the flash. Okay? Now, you putting the ND filter on the flash is not changing the settings of the camera. All right? It's not the ND filter darkens the scene so that you can maintain staying within the sync speed of the flash. Right? So in return of you darkening the scene, you would get the same exposure as if you did high speed sync without using high speed sync. You following where I'm going so far? Are you following me? Are you following what I'm saying so far?
Darken the scene.
Okay, so look, if I use an ND filter and I turn it 32 stops, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I could take that shot at 1/250th of a second, right? My scene is going to be dark, right? Now, to replicate that same scene with the ND filter off, I would have to shoot in high speed sync at, let's say, 6,400th of a second, for example, to replicate the same scene that the ND filter gave me. Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm telling you. The ND filter is doing the job of the high speed sync. It's darkening the scene. The camera is not reading. The camera is not reading a dark scene. The camera will read whatever the settings are, right? If it's 1/200 of a second, it's going to show bright.
No.
The ND filter now is darkening the scene for you to maintain that sync speed of 1/200 of 2/50th of a second.
No, I get what you're saying. We're just explaining. You're explaining darkening. So the whole original argument was based on like the argument that you could overpower the sun
The sun with
with
the
a
8400.
400 watt. And you said that like if you use a scrim or use an ND filter, then that's not. And my point was that like an ND filter isn't technically cheating, or that's not fair to say, oh, you can't use an ND filter, because what an ND filter is there to do is to help maintain your shutter speeds in the camera. ND filter doesn't affect how the flash works; it's how the camera works. So if the flash is putting out 400 watts, a pure 400 watts, and you need the ND filter to affect the exposure, that's just all I'm saying. The scene's going to be the same, ND filter or not. It's about how
Okay.
much exposure what the camera settings allow you to do, right?
Okay, so I don't have a problem with that. What I'm trying to tell you, right, is people they're going out there and they're saying that the 8400 can overpower the sun, right? No, the problem I have with that is, you see, you're saying that you use an ND filter. If you tell people, hey, you can use an ND filter to help that situation with the 8400, that's okay. But then they're talking about the high speed sync. You understand? You are using the ND filter. People are telling a high speed sync you can use the 8400 to overpower the sun. And that's what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to the ND filter. I'm referring to high speed sync. You following me now?
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I get
that's
what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And when people, like, for example, somebody would say, you can use the 8200 to overpower the sun, but then they would show up with a screen, they would show up with ND filter, they would show up with, you know what I mean? It ain't overpowering the sun. You using help. You understand where I'm coming from? That's what I'm trying to say. You get where I'm coming from now?
I get the scrim argument. I just don't buy the ND filter argument. If the ND filter is what's going to allow you to get your because the scrim affects the scene. The scrim affects the physical scene. The scrim
Yes.
adds shade over my physical, over the model's physical
Uh-huh.
bodies. All the ND filter does is affect the camera's settings.
It's the same, but it's the same thing. It's
It's not
effectively
the
does the
scene.
same thing.
The scene
Okay,
is
I
the
understand
scene.
what you're trying to say.
If
I
you go
understand
to
what
the
you're trying to
beach,
say.
the beach is the beach, whether you're there or not. The
Yes.
beach is the scene, the exposure, the camera. Because remember, like different cameras have different settings. You ever notice how like ISO 200 might be brighter on the R5 than it is brighter on the Canon A7? Because sometimes they measure ISO differently. So what I'm saying is settings also have it. That's camera settings. The scene is the scene no matter what.
No, I
He
agree
said,
with you.
you know,
I'm not disagreeing with you there. Somebody
he
said,
says, so let's put an ND filter over the sun.
that's a black
Marco,
bitch
that would
moment.
affect the scene. If you could actually put an ND filter over the physical sun, that affects the scene.
I understand
versus
what
the
you're saying. I
exposure.
understand what you're saying.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
basically, okay. Basically, what
You
you're
guys are
saying is
using the
something has
scene
to.
as exposure, and I'm
Okay.
saying the
All
scene
right.
is the scene.
So, okay. So let's just use the word exposure then, instead of saying
Thank
the
you.
scene. Okay.
Thank you.
So we talking about exposure. Okay. So
Yeah.
are you happy now? That's the difference.
I'm done.
It's a change.
Y'all win. Y'all got it. Y'all win.
It's a trip. All right. So
Here, I'm
we from
gonna
the
affect the scene.
Caribbean.
I'm gonna affect the
Huh?
scene. You see, I just changed the scene. Oh, the scene different now.
Hey, you're a trip.
There you go.
You're a trip. All right. So okay. I get what you're trying to say. We're both saying the same thing, where we both mean the
different
same
way.
thing
Yeah.
in different ways. Yes. All right. But yeah, so the whole argument is
He said black dish wins.
Yeah, the whole
Hey,
argument
look.
for me is,
Hey, look. I was you know I'm about to wake it up.
I'm not
Hey,
even
look.
getting in that conversation, bro.
Nah.
I'm not even getting
Hold
in
up.
that conversation.
I was out shooting the other day. I had the F8. I was like, man, I'm at settings 1. I need to reduce the light. I was like, shoot, I sure could use a black dish right now. This thing putting out too much light. I need to cut this light somehow, some way. But you know, I don't want.
Oh my god.
That's a whole nother. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm done.
I'm not getting involved in that. That's a
My
whole
kid
other
is crying.
conversation.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Let me just jump out because she crying. Here, mama, here.
Hey, no man, it's all good, man. We will come on live and then the next time and talk more about other stuff. I know you were busy tonight.
Don't have me, I'm about to wake it up. I'm finna get people
cooked,
all right?
Dude, as you can see, listen, I ain't got knowledge about my stuff. I ain't scared.
Hey,
I know what I'm talking about, you know. I'm not like others who doing crazy stuff. You know what I'm coming from? But yeah, man, it was good having you on, bro. It was good having you on, even if it was a brief moment. But yeah, you basically understand what I'm
Oh
trying
yeah.
to say is
Before you know, like, so when you sent me the link, like, I guess the link, it came as text. So I tried to copy the text and then put it in the browser and it didn't work.
no, you
And
had
then
to
I
click the
copied it.
link.
It wouldn't let me click it the way you texted me. I guess either because you weren't like contacting my phone or something like that. It just
Uh-huh.
it sent your number sent as like a it just sent as a text form. So when I went back to like the main thing, it showed up as a link like outside of the actual text message. So that's how I was able to do it. Just
Okay,
in case you
okay.
do this with somebody else and they're having
So
problems,
then what
it's
so
probably
then what do they have to do then? They have to come out of the text and go back in?
maybe. You know how like if you ever look at the text on iOS, like sometimes like when you get like links and stuff or pictures, it'll show
Yeah.
like a main thing with the links. I clicked on
Yes.
it from there and that allowed it to work. But I don't know because you're not contacting my phone. You are
Yeah.
now, but you
Yeah.
weren't before. So I guess the iPhone didn't show it as a link when you
Okay. I'll
just to
look
give you
into
heads
the
up,
I'll
just so
look
you
into
know.
the StreamYard. I'll look into the StreamYard for the next time. But this is a very efficient way of doing it. Like because with a StreamYard you have to send a whole key and all these kind of stuff to get the person on. With this I could just send you the link and anybody can join on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of works out nice like that. But I'll look into the StreamYard for the next time.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna let you close it. I get up
Yeah,
here and get
man.
talking. Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
Shout out to
Hey,
you guys. Shout out to Marco.
yes,
Shout out to Chris.
yeah.
Tay, everybody, hero. You know. All right, I'm out.
All right, bro. Have a good one, man. All right, guys. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Like these comments, I did not know if I even saved them for them to show up when the video gets posted. But Marcus says I see Ike's argument. Yeah. We both understand we were saying the same thing in just different ways. Man, y'all a trip. Even Skype or Discord. Skype. I don't know that they do that for YouTube, but we'll see. But I appreciate you guys, man. It was fun having y'all interact with us for so long, and let's do it again on the next one. And until then, guys, y'all be safe, enjoy, and yeah, I look forward to chatting you guys in the next one. All right, peace.